Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we're talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home since May 2nd, 2025, just over a year ago now. Since nearly the beginning, there has been questions in the Jack and Lilly case that just didn't make sense. And the stepfather, for the last approximate year, he has spoken out very inconsistently, while the mother stays behind the scenes and really doesn't say much about her missing children. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Daniel's inconsistencies. I have been listening to him for the past 12 hours. I might even dream about Daniel tonight in not a lovingly way, in my opinion, but we got a lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Sing it, mother chickens.
They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me stand. I've been whispered about
How you doing, Miss Denise? Thank you so
Judged by the
much.
gloss, not the cause.
Good to see you,
But God
babe.
don't
Thank
build
you.
weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable stone, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my way.
Thank you.
You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and heard, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Ready? Let's go. This is Daniel.
coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. If you have a complaint about something and find your content is being used incorrectly, infringement was not done on purpose and will be rectified to all parties' satisfaction. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. Thank you, guys. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is May 30th, 2026. It is currently 7:40 p.m. in the East Coast of the United States. Hi, how y'all doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? We haven't seen each other 24 hours. Like, it's been a minute. Good to see you all. Last night we were live with Ms. Damn, I am just messing it all up today. Last night we were live with our friend Miss Daphne. We had a really good live last night. I feel like I'm going to dream about Daniel tonight. Oh, I've listened to him all day. And just the absolute amount of buffoonery that this guy has spewed out in the last year is absolutely incredible. I think about this case and his statements, and I'm like, if you believe him, you've really either got to have blinders on or you don't realize all the things that he has said. And tonight we're going to go over some of those. So before we get started, you know what I'm going to ask. If you would be so kind and please do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share this live stream out, there's not as many people talking about Jack and Lilly. It's been over a year, and we need to keep their faces out there. I believe we are finally getting there. Daniel Martell, the stepfather of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. He's technically not the stepfather. He's technically the mother's boyfriend. They weren't married. He has unrelated charges of assault, SA, and forcible confinement coming. He's pleading July 7th. That is 38 days from now, but who's counting? And I think we are finally getting there. I do believe that we're going to get justice for Jack and Lilly. I really do. We just got to keep the pressure on. So if you would hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media, would be so thankful. Also, if you would be so kind and please hype this video. You get 3 hypes a week. I really do appreciate you guys hyping these videos. If you don't use it, you lose it. You got to do it on any of your mobile devices, your phone, your tablet, any mobile device that is out there now. Let me say hello to a few of you guys in here. Miss Leslie, always keeping it real. Good to see you, my darling. Peggy, hello. Good to see you. Miss Sherry, good to see you, honey. Appreciate you. Miss Tina, Anna Mountain, thank you so much, my darling. Can't wait to hear from our fake sponsors tonight. Mm-hmm. Miss Wendy, good to see you. Miss Peggy, the Happy's Farm Girl. Miss Carol, bonjour. Denise, Joanne, good to see you, love. Hamatude, how you been, baby? Good to see you. Miss Tina, good to see you. Daniel is counting. I bet you he is. I bet you he is. Miss Leslie, Garinas, Captain Justice, Wendy, Susan, Boomers, how you been, baby? Watching from New Brunswick, about 3 hours from Jack. Good to see you, Boomers. How you been, darling? Miss Deb, hello. Sherry, again, Miss Leslie Captain. Good to see you, darling. Good to see everyone. Hello, Miss Carol. Hello, darling. Good to see everyone. Kat, thank you so much for the gifts, my darling. I don't know. Where is everybody this evening? Did notifications go out? Maybe everyone's just a little late. Good. Thank you so much, Kat, for your gifts. Really appreciate you, my darling. Good to see you. Hey, Denise. Thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hi, Justin. Hi, Alfie. Great to see you, Miss Denise. Appreciate you very, very much, my darling. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss Dolores. Good to see you, darling. Thank you so much. Hi, Justin. Hi. The beautiful girls. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. Thank you so very, very much. Hey, Brian. Good to see you, my friend Patty. Everyone rolling on in as we get it started. Okay. When I say I have listened to Daniel all day, I really mean it. Even while I was mowing grass earlier, I was listening to Daniel, like clipping things while I'm mowing grass. I'm like, clip, clip. So a lot to talk about. Hey, Holly, how you doing, baby? Good to see you. Love you, sweet Justin and Pearls, going on 24 goddamn. Thank you so much, Miss Holly. Good to see you, darling. Appreciate you, my dear. Much love to you. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Thank you so much, lovies. Good to see you. And thank you for 24 months, 2 years of support. That's amazing. Thank you so very much, my dear. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Pam. I didn't get a notification. Yeah, I don't think my notifications went out for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I went live early. I know my notifications didn't go out because there's only 183 in here right now, but that's okay. It is what it is. We're still going to be here. So sorry, Justin, you had to listen to that creep. Well, I do it because not for him. That's for sure. I don't do it for him. I do it because of Jack and Lilly, and I want to bust his little butt when it comes to his lies. Miss Dolores, thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Dolores. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you, my darling. Good to see you. Thank you, baby, so much for 5 months. Oh, hold on. What's this? Let's make a deal. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, 1 second. Okay, that's funny. Okay, got it. Okay. So let's get it started. I got some things that I was clipping today, and Daniel likes to brag that he's done like 100 interviews or something like that. He's done a lot. And each one of them, he changes the story and how he evolves this story. He's spoken out a lot more recently. I mean, he did the 9 hour, some actually, I think it was over 9 hours, maybe with Sunny, and then he did a couple with Charmaine, and of course, he did one with DT a while back, and I was looking at some things with DT's channel, um, and I want to point some new things out that I've noticed. Smiley Cool Cat, thank you so much for the gifts, my darling. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, lovies. If I don't get to your gifts, guys, if I miss it, like if I don't see one of the mods or one of you guys put it in chat, I will get to it at the end of the live. I apologize if I. Patty, thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you for the gift, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patty. Appreciate you, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, babes. Okay. So we're going to get to I want to invite Nova's Inquest on here as well. I want to talk to Nova about this case. Nova's local, and she kind of stays out of a lot of the buffoonery, and that's why I really like her as well. All right, let me pull this up. Here we go. All right, so we're going to go. I really zoned in on Daniel's face on this, what you're going to see today, because I screen recorded a lot of the parts that I wanted. Hey, Smiley Miley, good to see you 4 months. What a legend. Thank you so much, Lovey. Appreciate you, Miss Smiley Miley. How you doing? Thank you so much for 4 continuous months, my dear. Really, truly do appreciate that very much. Okay, here we go. The first part, I don't know if I did his face or not, but just listen here.
So relative to where Jack and Lily's bedroom is to where you guys sleep, how close is that? Is that
Yeah, it's actually the next bedroom. It's actually the next bedroom over.
Hold on, I've got to pull up something before I do that, because if I don't, we're not going to get it. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right, now I got it. Okay, here we go. Little Red, 15 months. Love you. Appreciate you, babies. How you doing, Little Red? Thank you, baby. 15 months. Really, really do appreciate you. So good to see you, my friend. You've been doing really good lives over there recently. I listen while you're out. Holly, thank you so much, my dear, for gifting a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you, my darling. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support, my babies. And Hamitude, what a legend, 6 months. Love spending time with them. We love spending time with you, my babies. Good to see you. That's okay, Jamie. Good to see you, baby. Thank you so much, Hamitude, for 6 months. Appreciate you very, very much. Hey, Holly Stevens. Good to see you, babe. Okay, here we go.
And you guys mentioned that you guys could hear them throughout the morning. Is that correct?
Yes, I actually did hear. I know when it says in the documents that we heard them in the next room over, like in their bedroom. I didn't hear them in their bedroom. I heard when Lily would pop in, I heard Jack in the kitchen.
Okay. Now, just remember of him saying that he saw or that he heard Jack in the kitchen. Now, again, Malaya is the one that heard, allegedly, which I don't believe any of this, but that she heard the kids in the next room, that they were so loud that they woke up Meadow. Remember that they woke up Meadow. But DT asked up here, did y'all do anything about it? I'm like, no. So that was interesting. Now, if just a thing here, if Daniel if Jack and Lily are so loud enough to wake Meadow. They're probably, that means they were loud enough to wake Malaya, which is probably loud enough to wake Daniel too, right? So that would have probably woken up everyone in the house, wouldn't it? Because Jack and Lily were awake. That woke Meadow. Obviously, Malaya says she got up to get Meadow, which means she had to be either awake or woken up, one or the other. But they never told Jack and Lily to hush it down. Malaya said Lily comes in the room. A little bit later, they don't say if she says anything or anything. And then Daniel says Lily comes in the room twice, at least. There's been inconsistencies about that. It was several times he used to say, then it was like 2 or 3, and now it's 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I heard him rustling around in the kitchen, right?
Oh,
But then when
was Daphne live? I looked to see if she was live, and I didn't see her if she was. It didn't show me she was live. She told me earlier she was thinking about doing a members only, but it didn't show me she was live. The kitchen is also on the other end of the house. Besides, remember, they said they turned the TV on for Meadow, so we heard it over the TV. Correct. Oh, hey, Joyous. Good to see you. Hey, old garden gal. Yes, Daphne was live, just left there. It didn't say she did a members only, but it still should let me see. I would looked earlier.
when me and Malaya made our way out to the kitchen, there was nothing moved. The chairs were.
Okay, now remember that part. Just remember this part. When they made their way to the kitchen, nothing was moved. I mean, what are they supposed to be, rearranging furniture or something?
Were still perfectly in place. There was no chairs pulled up against the counter for them to, they usually would jump up and take food if they wanted, because kids always do that, right? They would go into the fridge. They would go into the other pantry and grab food if they wanted. Like, they had unlimited food if they wanted to grab it.
Okay. They did not have unlimited food. Their dad had to buy them food all the time. Malaya's grandmother had to buy food all the time. So that's a lie.
And, they would go into the fridge, take yogurt cups and eat them, or cereal or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, but nothing was moved, Daniel. Nothing was moved.
And now they're being loud-ish. You mean loud enough for you guys to hear them?
Yep.
Your other daughter, Meadow, she was there though, right?
Yeah, she was actually laying beside me with Malaya.
Did you guys?
Okay. So they were like Daniel from DT's channel just said right there. They were loud enough to where you guys could hear them, but they want to, make sure the baby's asleep, right? Daniel's like, we want to make sure she gets enough sleep. Okay.
Guys or did Malaya ever tell the kids to be quiet? Were they were waking up Meadow at any point with their noise?
In that morning, no. But
who tells, if you want your kid to sleep and there's others in the house being loud, especially kids, what's the first thing you're going to say? Shh. Quiet down. Quiet down. But didn't happen. That doesn't make sense. Now, I don't know why Meadow would still be asleep, though, because, hello, I mean, she's been asleep since 10 o'clock, almost 12 hours.
When Lily poked in, I did go, shh. Like, when,
no, you didn't,
she would come in the room, because she always woke up Meadow. Same with Jack, but, I mean, that's what kids do, too, right?
Yeah. And so, You know, some folks are saying that, you know, they may have walked out the back sliding glass door.
Okay, here we
That
go.
seems like the only logical explanation for them to have exited the house. You had something on the front door, correct?
Yeah, on the front porch, where there's the front porch door, and then there's the inner door on the front. And I know for 100% they did not go out through that door. So, because when I went and got the keys and tried to come back into the house, couldn't get into the front door. Right, I had to go around from the back, and then I
Listen.
went out through the front door.
Gotcha.
So that's how I know they did not exit through the front. They exited out through the back sliding glass door.
Now,
Watch his face.
I've read in the documents that Malaya said something to the effect that the kids didn't always close the door behind them when they went outside. It kind of made it seem like there was times that they did. Is that accurate, or was that something that when they went outside? They
I
just did?
mean, the percentage that they would actually close the door behind them, it's very minimal.
But they haven't done it in
So
the past, though. Correct?
it's usually, I mean, Daniel, even I don't close the door all the way sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You probably still wear a bib, Daniel, from your
So it was all the way shut.
math resident.
Yeah, it was all the way shut. I mean, fully all the way shut.
That is weird.
So, and and some of the investigators, when they were here, they came all the way down to the bedroom, sat on the bed, and we had a dead quiet. And they tried to open up the door. Well, I think it was Mom who went
Dead
out there and
quiet.
opened and just closed the door, and he couldn't hear it from inside the bedroom, sitting on the bed with the bedroom door shut.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear the door, but you could hear them in there playing. Now, Daniel in the not the documents, but in one of the interviews that he did, he said that he heard them go out the door. And then he said a little bit later, they noticed quiet. If you can hear them out in the kitchen and you can hear them out in the living room, and then they're getting their shoes on or whatever, you can tell when somebody goes out of your house. Like, because kids are not going to be quiet, right? Kids are going to be playing inside. They're going to open the door. And then once they get that door closed, it's going to be muffled as well. They know that Jack's out there in the kitchen rummaging stuff around, but nothing's moved and all of this. Okay.
So
Just wait.
Is the door heavy?
it is heavy, but when the kids got their
Oh, really, Green Eyes?
hands on it, they would have to put both hands on it and they could slide it closed.
Okay.
So it is
Yeah.
possible for them to close it.
I'm
They
on
just
for
need to,
Josh.
work at closing it.
Now, so you wake up because there's been some time that you guys haven't heard the kids anymore, correct?
I woke up when Malaya woke me up. I'm pretty sure it was her who woke me up because we both kind of like woke up at the same time.
Mhm.
And I remember her saying, as it says in the documents, she said, I don't hear them. But the craziest thing was when I woke up, it was in the first 5 seconds that she said, I don't hear them.
Okay. Now, remember here versus his other interviews. This part always got me, how Daniel says he always, that him and Malaya pretty much woke up simultaneously. But then you look at the other interviews and the documents, as Daniel says he wasn't even remotely asleep. In the RCMP documents, Malaya says she was awake. Daniel was asleep. Daniel says he was awake. She was asleep. Now listen to what he says right here. It's not even believable.
And usually you would have to wait a couple seconds, you know what I mean? Or like 30 seconds or something like that, because it could be in the fridge, because that's usually what everything goes quiet when they're, grabbing food or doing something, right?
Everything goes quiet when they're grabbing food or doing something.
Yeah. And so she wakes you up. Would you have
Well, I
noticed?
think she woke me up, right? We kind of woke up at the same time, but I really don't know.
Would you have noticed if she got out of bed?
Listen.
No, I would have been sleeping. I didn't even know she called the kids in absent until I got the email on my phone.
Well, I mean,
Watch this. Hold on. Listen.
if she got out of bed.
No, I would have been sleeping.
Would you have known if she would have gotten out of bed? No, I would have been sleeping.
I would have been sleeping. I didn't even know she called the kids in absent until I got the email on my phone.
Well, I mean, you woke up when Lily
Watch his
popped her
face.
head in, right? So you were.
Yes, I did. Because there's a lock on the door, right?
Yeah.
And I heard like the lock rattle.
So do you think though that in the time that Lily popped her head in, and that woke you up, it alerted you a little bit, and the time that you fully woke up, do you think you would have been able to tell? Would you have the ability to tell whether or not Malaya got out of bed?
I don't know. Do you want to say that over again for me so I get I was just plugging in my phone, so I didn't hear you correctly.
No problem. So if you already have been woken up, Lily's popping in, so you've already woken up to a certain extent, maybe not fully awakened, but you've woken up to the point where you've acknowledged that the child has come in and out. Do you think in that moment, maybe not earlier, maybe not early in the morning, but from the moment?
I mean, let's think about this for a minute. If Malaya and Daniel are in the bed together and Malaya gets up to get Meadow and Meadow is laying on Malaya's arm and Daniel's awake but not awake and he hears Jack and Lilly out playing in the living room and in the kitchen or doing something. And then earlier, Malaya hears Jack and Lilly in the next bedroom over. It's not like Malaya is going to get up for a few minutes, do something with the kids, and lay back down and go to sleep. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't even sound right.
That you were awoken from the time that Lily popped her head in to the time that you were fully awake. Do you think that Malaya could have gotten out of bed without you noticing?
I think she could have.
Now, we're talking about anywhere from like 8:30 or about 8:40 till about 9:40 here maximum. We're talking about maybe an hour. And you got to realize about 9:40 allegedly is whenever they start looking around about for the kids. Somewhere around there. Which means if it's 20 minutes, we're talking at about 9:20. Right, about 9:20 would have been about the last time they were heard. Can't work. Dawn, thank you so much, darling, for renewing your membership. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Dawn. Good to see you. Thank you, my loves. Thank you, babies. Okay, listen to this.
But you have to remember, too, the baby was laying on her arm as well.
Oh.
So
the baby was laying on her arm. Okay, 1 second. All right, let me find this thing. All right, just remember, the baby was laying on her arm. 1 second.
Like the baby was sleeping on top of her right arm.
So it's unlikely that she got out of bed.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but it is possible. I mean, anything's possible, but I think Meadow may have be woken up when she's actually moving.
Got you. And
But it
so,
is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just an absolute circus, so anything's
Yeah.
possible.
and so, so she wakes up. You wake up. What's the first thing that you do?
First thing I do when I wake up is, I mean, Malaya's right beside me, and she says, "Do you like hear the kids?" And then I listen for a few seconds. I said, "No, I don't hear them." So first thing I do is when I don't hear them, I get up and I, get dressed, and me and her make our way out to the kitchen. And this thing I still find odd to this day. I told investigators this is Malaya didn't look in Jack and Lily's room when we went up, when we walked to the kitchen, right?
Okay.
So I found that odd because we both walked up together up the hallway to the kitchen. And then I poked my head I looked into the living room, didn't see the kids. I ran back to the room, looked underneath their beds and stuff, didn't see them. So then we made our way outside, right? Malaya stood in the kitchen when I was...
Okay, I was finding something here. Okay. Listen to this.
Malaya's right beside me, and she says, "Do you like hear the kids?" And then I listen for a few seconds. I said, "No, I don't hear them." So
Maybe it's right here.
anything's possible. I mean, anything's possible. She's actually moving. I think Meadow may have be woken up when she's
Right here.
actually moving.
Got you. And
But
so,
it is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just an absolute...
so it's unlikely.
Like, the baby, remember, too, the baby was laying on her arm as well.
Oh,
So, like, the baby was sleeping on top of her right arm.
so it's unlikely that she got out of bed.
The baby was sleeping on her right arm, right? Okay, Daniel. Gotcha. Let me just play this little part right here. This was the other day.
So Malaya was clearly up at 6:17, 6:18, and 8:28 to make that call. And I was unaware she was keeping the kids home from school, and I wasn't awake at 6:17 or 6:18 or 8:28 for that matter.
And just to reiterate again, was the baby sleeping on Malaya's arm when you first woke up on Friday morning?
See, that's something in my head that, I keep bouncing back and forth from. Originally, when I first woke up, I'm pretty sure that the baby was on Malaya's arm, but then it was on my arm afterwards, right? Because she would lay right in the middle and co-sleep with us. I don't know what time she came into the bed. I'm guessing.
So the baby was sleeping on her arm, but then he's thinking that the baby might have been sleeping on his arm. And then, just like they simultaneously wake up together. There's a lot of very strange things happening here, isn't there?
Guessing when she marked the kids absent for school at 6:17 and 6:18, she took our daughter from the crib and put her into bed to co-sleep with us. Because for a large majority, like when she was younger, she co-slept with us.
No, see, Daniel, listen to this right here. I just now noticed this. Listen to
the
that.
bed. I'm guessing when she marked the kids absent for school at 6:17 and 6:18, she took our daughter from the crib and put her into bed to co-sleep.
No, Daniel, she didn't. She didn't take Meadow. Know your story, buddy. Know your story. That is not when she took Meadow to get her out of the crib. It wasn't like that at all. Even though you don't watch me, Daniel, let me help you fix your story, baby. She went and got Meadow because Jack and Lily woke her up, allegedly. Remember? That's why she went and got Jack and Lily. And it was after 7-something o'clock in the morning. Wrong, Daniel.
Sleep with us because for a large majority, like when she was younger, she co-slept with us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Was the ground wet and muddy when the kids...
Okay. one more thing here. All right. Someone wrote, why does Daniel keep using the excuse that he had been in the bed for the baby girl as per routine the morning the kids disappeared, when initially it was Malaya who had the baby sleeping on her arm that morning? Remember, the initial story was MBM got the baby out of the crib after the kids woke her, turned on the TV, and turned on the TV, then for in the bed, and then went back to sleep with the baby on her arm. DT even asked, yes, exactly. Okay. Now we're going to get back to this pot right here. If I could find it. Part 1. Okay, that's not it. Right here it is. Okay. I got a lot of things pulled up. I've been listening to Daniel all day. Right here. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's unlikely, but it is possible. I mean, anything's possible. But I think Meadow may have be woken up when she's actually moving.
Gotcha.
But it is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just. I think Meadow may have be woken up when she's actually moving.
So now you think Meadow woke up when she was actually moving?
Gotcha.
But it is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just an absolute circus, so anything's possible.
And so she wakes up. You wake up. What's the first thing that you do?
First thing I do when I wake up is, I mean, Malaya's right beside me, and she says, "You like hear the kids?"
Right here.
And then I listen for a few seconds. I said, "No, I don't hear them." So first thing I do is when I don't hear them, I get up and I, get dressed,
watching.
Me and her make our way out to the kitchen. And this thing I still find odd to this day, I told investigators this, is Malaya didn't look in Jack and Lily's room when we went up, when we walked to the kitchen, right?
Well, you just looked. You went to look. So why did she have to look if you went to go look? Why do you find that odd, Daniel?
Okay.
So I found that odd because we both walked up together up the hallway to the kitchen. And then I poked my head I looked into the living room, didn't see the kids. I ran back to the room, looked underneath their beds and stuff, didn't see them. So then we made our way outside, right? Malaya stood in the kitchen when I was running like a moron through the house looking for the kids. And we made our way outside. We got through the fence, and then we're standing right in front of Mom's RV. And she asked me, should I call 911?
Okay, listen.
Right? That's, kind of instinctual. You want to do that, right?
Okay, so here he's going to blame Malaya. Should I call 911? Well, yeah, it's kind of instinctual. Well, Malaya said it was just her instinct to call 911. You kind of dump on her here, and you're like, yeah, just kind of instinctual. But in other interviews, you tell her to hold on, Daniel.
Right.
Because we don't hear them out in the yard. We never seen them in the house. We don't see them in the backyard.
Hold on.
Right? That's, kind of instinctual. You want to do that, right?
Right.
Because we don't hear them out in the yard. We never seen them in the house. We don't see them in the backyard.
We never seen them in the house. We don't see them in the backyard.
I didn't know if Mom was even home or not, right? Because I thought she might have went with my Uncle Ron,
Look, watch him. This is not natural speaking. He's searching for his words. He is searching for his words, and he fucks up major up here. Meadow was also teething, had to be painful, right? Absolutely. We were standing out in front of Mom's RV. Well, Mom said it was only Malaya with the baby in her arms in front of the camper. Yes, I think he's referring to whenever he. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my ear, guys. Whenever they first go out, like outside of the fence. But regardless, you don't hear anything about checking the buildings, looking in the chicken coop, in the buildings, the sheds. You don't hear anything about under the house, anything like that.
Ron.
Mhm.
So
Listen to
she's on
this.
the phone with 911. I run up into the woods where the cabins are. And look
Hold
with
on.
my Uncle Ron.
Mhm.
So
Sorry, guys.
we don't see him in the backyard. I didn't know if Mom was even home or not, right? Because I thought she might have went with my Uncle Ron.
Mhm.
So she's on the phone with 911. I run up into the woods where the cabins are.
Okay, so Malaya's on the phone with 911. Daniel is running up in the woods where the cabins are.
And look in the cabins, look around the area. Didn't see them. I'm screaming and yelling, Lily and Jack. And then I make my way down. There's a hill behind Mom's RV. I make my way down.
So he comes back down the hill where his mom's RV is. He makes his way down.
And Malaya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone.
Listen to this part. Okay, so he's running back down the hill. Now he notices Malaya still on the phone. Or is she? Listen.
My way down. And
He runs back down the hill. He makes his way down.
Malaya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. No.
Well, she had to be. She had to be on the phone because it's 9:01 when she calls. It's 9:01.
Looks like she was standing
Listen
there.
to this.
I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. Then it looks like she was messaging.
Okay, he's not sure if she was on the phone with 911. She might have been on the phone. She might have been on the speakerphone. It looks like she was messaging. Okay. Well, I assure you, I guess there is, you can message 911 now probably, but is she messaging? Is she on the speakerphone or is she talking to 911? 10:01 was the time. Absolutely. She had to be on the phone. She was on the phone for nearly 10 minutes.
But she might have been on speakerphone with the dispatch.
Might have been.
And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So
Okay, listen. So
and so I say, I'm jumping in the car.
And so I run, I say, I'm jumping in the car. Yes, you are. And it was a car, Daniel. It was not a 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. Robini, thank you for your jewels, darling. Appreciate you. Appreciate your lovies. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you. That's a rather, 10 minutes for a 911 call. Yeah.
So I ran inside.
Listen.
I tried to go into the front door.
So I ran inside, I tried to run through the front door. Now, why would you try to run through the front door if it's bolted? Like, you bolted every night. You supposedly bolted every night. And from what I understand, it was permanently bolted shut. But regardless, it's locked. Thank you, Ra. That is correct. Text apps do not allow 911 calls. That is correct. Yes. Dawn, thank you so much for sending jewels, darling. Appreciate you, Dawn. Love you, darling. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, listen to this. Listen.
I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. ran through the back door, the back sliding door, got into
Ran through the back door, the back sliding door.
the house, grabbed the keys off the end table
Grabbed the keys off the end table.
because there was 2 sets of keys, right?
Now, my question is, what is the likelihood of you knowing your 4 and 6-year-old have been missing no more than 20 minutes? Their legs are about this long, and they were just playing outside for 10 minutes of that 20 minutes, and you're going to jump in the car. And you're going to jump in the car, Daniel. Okay. Your legs can go faster than their legs, and they couldn't have gotten that far. You don't need to go down every trail yet, right? Way down the road, kilometers and kilometers away, do you, Daniel? But Daniel thinks he needs to go jump in the car. Wendy, thank you so much for the jewels, darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, babies. Thank you, mods and everyone, for telling me when the jewels come in. I appreciate you. Who would jump in the car? I tell you, no one. Not that quick. Not that quick, that's for sure. I would know that they had to be real close. You got to realize, even when a 4 and 6-year-old go missing, when they walk away, they are usually really close to the house. It's on your end, Meep. I hope. I think it's on your end. I want to know how he is. I want to know how he knew his uncle Ron called his mother that morning. It was a quick phone call. She shown the call log. Why would he assume she went to town with him? Because it was supposedly she goes to town every Friday with him, but that they haven't been to town since on a Friday, from what I understand. Nobody's seen them in town together. But what's very interesting, before they had their script together, and this is how, in my opinion, I will tell you how Miss Junkyard Judith here knows, is because she said she thought that the kids might have gone missing before she talked to her brother Ron. What do you mean? What do you mean? That was like hours before.
And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone because there's no service out there anyway. Not like I can use it.
Okay, listen.
So
listen. Watch his face. Watch his fucking face.
back sliding door, got into the house, grabbed the keys off the end table because there was 2 sets of keys, right?
I told you guys that bothered me a long time ago, and I didn't know why, but I know Daniel said it for a reason, and now we know why he says it, because he wants you to believe that he took the white 2017 Nissan Pathfinder, but he took the blue car that had a muffler issue, kind of like Daniel has a muffler issue, right? He doesn't know when to shut the entire fuck up. But I'm kind of glad he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up, because this is voluntary, and it could possibly, and I'm sure it has and will be, probably used against him one day, hopefully sooner than later. Oh yeah. Can you imagine Natalie Holloway's mother, Beth Holloway, speaking like this. Because there was 2 sets of keys, right? Yeah, like, Natalie just went in, to Bermuda and then, like giggling and shit like that. Like, people are fucking hurting when their loved ones are missing. It's the most tragic thing you could fucking go through in life is a kid missing or a family member missing or unalived. Yvette, my head hurts. I'm not even being funny with you. I have a headache from hell this evening because I have listened to this all day. But I'm really, really working my ass off on this, trying to put things together that I'm working on. And there's not a lot going on in Nancy Guthrie right now. So I got a little extra time, Daniel. I got a little extra time for you, baby.
And I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone.
I didn't take my phone. I don't remember taking my phone. Right? Janie doesn't take her phone. Daniel doesn't take the phone either.
Because there's no service out there anyway. Not like I can use it.
You heard him, right? There's no service out there anyway. Because it's not like he can use his phone. Just remember that. Because in a little bit later, well, in the RCMP documentary, in the RCMP documents, he says that he used his phone to get out of the woods. And he records things and all that. Damn, I wish Daniel really didn't watch me and his people didn't really watch me, because then I could say some things. But I've seen people more emotional over missing pets. Oh my God, absolutely. Dolores, did I get your gift? I don't know, Terry. I don't know about that. Did Miss Dolores's gift come in, guys? Took his phone for flashlight in the daytime, he said. That too, yes. Yeah, he gets zero emotional. Pam, thank you so much for the gift, my darling. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. No doubt he's sitting there going off thinking about Malay. Yes. I've contacted Nancy's producers for this case. I have contacted Nancy's producers. They are aware of it. I've talked to the producers on about Jack and Lily's case to him. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you. Yes, I got your gift. Thank you, baby. Very kind of you. Thank you so very, very much. And thank you again. Damn. Who else sent it? YouTubers wrote it a second ago. Pam, thank you so much again, baby. Appreciate you.
So
listen.
I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table.
Yeah. Again, this is useless information unless he wants you or the RCMP to know it, right? This is what you call guilty knowledge. Or also he's trying to, it's kind of a twofold for him. He's also trying to get ahead of something. Yeah, I told everyone that I left my phone at the house, right? Yeah, not a big deal. Got it.
Investigators would know that for 100%.
Of course they would, Daniel.
So
And-
grab my keys, grab the keys.
Now, he's right. Right there. Grabbed his keys, right? Grab my keys. You did grab your keys, Daniel. Yes, my keys. So grab my keys, or grabbed the keys. He wants his brain's telling the truth twice, actually, but then he's overcompensating because he knows he's lying when he says grabbed the keys. But he's going to tell you he's driving a blue car here.
Ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when I started.
Right. Most people don't say, I got in my 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder, right? They'll just say, I got in Malaya's car. Right? I got in Malaya's car. I got in Malaya's vehicle. Not, I grabbed my keys on the side stand because there's two sets of keys, right? Got in Malaya's 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. Now, when you are talking about your vehicle, right? Do you say I go out in my 2015 GMC Yukon Denali? No. It doesn't make sense. You don't need to say that. It's useless information unless you want to set a narrative, right? You would just say, I got in my husband's car, or yeah, I jumped in the Denali, or you don't need to put all that information there. But he needs you to know that he got in a specific person's year, make, model, and color of that vehicle, and how many sets of keys it has. For what? I don't know, unless maybe you're driving a blue car and you told on yourself.
Started to search. The investigators would know that.
Watch his face.
for
Watch his
100%.
face. He
So
fucked
grab
up
my
right away.
keys, grab the keys, ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when I started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? So I went up Lansdowne Road.
So this is when he starts searching the dirt roads and the culverts, right? He says. So he drives up Lansdowne.
Road, and that's
Watch his
I already
face.
told investigators this, but that blanket was not there in that tree.
Okay. He is very paranoid about this blanket, and you will see big time. He's very, very paranoid about this blanket. We're not asking you about a pink blanket or anything right now. Daniel from DT Show is asking you, what did you do in the beginning, right? Not talking about a pink blanket. We're not there yet. This is hours ahead, right? But he's talking about while he's in that vehicle, he doesn't see two children and he doesn't see a pink blanket. Okay. Well, because in my opinion, he is trying to show the opposite reaction to what he actually did. So he's overcompensating for that. No, I didn't drive a blue car. I drove a 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. I went up Lansdowne Road. I didn't see two kids, and I certainly didn't see a pink blanket.
Which direction?
Some Pathfinder, and that's when I started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? So I went up Lansdowne Road, and that's already told investigators this, but that blanket was not there in that tree.
Which direction were you
That
heading?
would be when I'm coming out the end of the driveway and I'm going right toward Lansdowne Road, over the tracks and then hanging a hard right.
So you were coming the direction that would have been visible to you, and you didn't see it.
Yeah, I'd be going right at the end of the driveway. I take a right. I'm going up the road.
Across the railroad tracks and then right up on the dirt road.
3938.
Yeah, that's Lansdowne Road where the blanket was found.
All right. So when you're running around and as you're going outside and you're looking, that gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't remember I don't remember.
Watch this.
Okay. And so you come
It's
around.
not hard. It's not hard to open up gates anyway. They're just slide. Like I always forget to close. My mom always reminds me, but they're just a slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing hard about those locks at all.
Well, maybe not, but I'm just kind of curious because if you can unlock it and open it, but if you're on the other side of the fence and you're small, can you reclose it?
Yeah, you can. You can. All you do is just pull the fence close to you and then close it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What does it mean, pull the fence close to you and close it? He does, Rob. Yes, he does. How did the blanket get in a tree? Well, it was planted. He's going to tell you that in just a second. Hey, Bubbly. So was her car wet from him jumping in the lake or the rivers or the streams? Did the police see him in wet clothes or take them as evidence? No and no. His car would have DNA or mud from the tires, clovers, lakes as his shoes. Yes, but Daniel, the car, I'm going to tell you in my opinion that he was in, which was the blue car that he had at his dad's, that he has now crushed and admittedly crushed. Took the keys, took the keys. We know it's the blue one. It's the blue one. There was no gate there at all, besides 3 missing sections for the fence. Correct. There was kind of 2 sets of fences there at that time.
And so it may not be a clue there. So you're out there searching in the woods. How long before law enforcement arrived?
Listen.
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But then when I looked at the documentation and, asked questions.
So I was told 12 minutes. Well, Malaya was on the phone from 10:01 till about 10:10, till about 10:10, and they didn't show up till 10:20 something. And with them being there in the first 10 minutes, they had drones up.
Dug further, it was 22 minutes, I do believe.
And were you at the house when they arrived?
I was actually when they were arriving, I was actually coming back to the house in the car, and I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped.
Okay, I might need to slow this down just a little bit. This is very important because I want you to. This is one of the biggest fuck ups Daniel ever makes.
When they arrived,
I was actually when they were arriving, I was actually coming back to the house in the car.
Okay. When they were arriving, they was coming back to the house in the car. Okay.
And I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Because they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white.
Right there. That's one of the biggest mistakes he did ever. Because just like the neighbors think, Daniel was driving a blue car, which Daniel had crushed, by the way, which he openly admitted because some of us called him out last week and finally told him that we know, Daniel, that you had the car crushed and it was up a trail that you had to have your friends help you get it out. Didn't you, Daniel? And he admitted it. He did admit it.
Walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white.
You know, he screws up there. So what I did was I parked the blue. I thought it was black originally, but then I found out what kind of car it was. What I did was I parked the blue. I mean the white Nissan Pathfinder. And right? What I did is I parked the blue. I mean the white. No, you meant the blue. Except it was, you're here at about 10:30, Daniel. You parked the blue car about 1:30 in the morning and a couple other times as well. But he corrects himself, and that's how we know this is a sore spot for Daniel, a big sore spot for Daniel, because he corrects it several times. Oh yeah. Daniel's welcome to call in. Anytime, anywhere, any place, Daniel. 307-228-4906. You have me on Facebook. I've contacted you on Facebook. You can email me, send a carrier pigeon, send throw a meth pipe at me, whatever. It works.
White Nissan. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malaya owns. They're parking the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Is they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder. They're parking the.
And then after he screws it up a couple times, right there, what I did was I parked the blue, the white Nissan Pathfinder. Then he says, because he's anxiety ridden right there, because that's what Malaya owns, right? Yeah, she'd only had it. It'd only been legal less than 24 hours, though. It had really only, maybe 36 hours at the most. This car had been legal. Now, Daniel says Malaya's had it since April 1st. Well, she might have had it, but it wasn't legal, so you couldn't drive it then. It's been legal for less than 36 hours at the time Jack and Lilly go missing.
Driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Is they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because they're parking the driveway because RCMP
Watch
just
the
stopped in
anxiety.
the yard, right?
Okay.
Is they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malaya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder. And I parked over on the right-hand side of the marsh, going toward Lansdowne Road. There's a car Malaya owns, the 2017, the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malaya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder.
You see his eyes close and all that, like he's fucked up here. He knows he did. And I didn't catch it for a while, but then I caught it.
And I parked over on the right-hand side of the marsh, going toward Lansdowne Road. There's a marsh that's right beside the house there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably can pull that up on the map. There's a little driveway that's right beside it. It's about 100 feet from the house.
Okay.
300 yards, actually.
Around here?
Yeah, that's actually the marsh. And there's a little driveway right on the left-hand side right there. Yep. That's where I parked in the white Nissan Pathfinder.
That's where I parked the white 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. Robin, I would be glad. I would take my fucking hoops off. Come on, bitch. I would take my acrylics off. Let's go. I'll take my rings off for you. Let's go, boo. Who's going to say that? That's where I parked the white 2017 Nissan Pathfinder. It's a very sore spot for him.
Okay.
And then
Listen.
when I jumped out of the car, the RCMP yelled at me from in the yard, right? Because they could see me clearly.
When I jump out in the yard, right? Because they could clearly see me. They could clearly see me. I don't think you could. I don't think they could see you, Daniel. In fact, I know they couldn't see you. And they didn't tell you right then and there, Daniel, to don't go back and search. As I've told you before, Daniel. First of all, they don't know your name. Second of all, they don't know you've been in the woods. And third of all, they couldn't see you there anyways. So why does this hurt you so bad? Why are you so sensitive in this area when you park the white 2017 Nissan Pathfinder over next to this marsh? Why are you so sensitive to them saying you can't go search, right? They can see you. Why? Because originally you had said you wasn't there when they first got there. Again, that is your words. And you're going to notice Daniel's going to say that he wasn't around much for the first day or two.
Yeah.
And they said, Daniel, don't go back into the woods.
How do they know your name? How do they know you're in the woods?
So
You think they're going to say they're okay? He's saying that the RCMP is swarming Malaya at this time. That they're swarming Malaya. They're wanting to know about the kids. They don't give a fuck about you, Daniel. They don't give a fuck about you at this point. They just think these kids are close by. That's all. They're wanting to know what happened. They're not saying, Daniel, don't go back in the woods. Daniel, don't do this. They don't even know your name, you buffoon.
at that point, I didn't go back into the woods. I walked over to the house.
Okay, he's lying here. He's lying here. Miss Kelly, thank you so very much. Appreciate you, my love. Welcome to the Pearl family. You're welcome, Miss Kelly, up in here, up in here. Thank you, Miss Kelly, and thank you, Miss Dolores, again. Appreciate you, Mama. Thank you guys so much for your support. I do appreciate you. Daniel is saying this. I really didn't know why he would say this, but I know he said it for a reason. And I'll tell you my opinion on this now. My opinion on why Daniel is saying that they told him not to go in the woods. And then he says a few minutes later, this guy in military gear with his name comes and says, Daniel, you can go back into the woods now. Because they told Daniel, don't fucking go in the woods. Don't go in the woods. We will look for them. We will look for them. But Daniel either asked somebody who wasn't relevant if he could go into the woods. And he's like, oh yeah, well, that guy told me I could. I thought he was, you know, a person of, authority. They did not want him to go in the woods, but he left anyways. And that's why he says, I wasn't around the first day or two. I don't think they did. I don't think they did, in my opinion. I don't think they knew it immediately, that's for sure.
And I went down and I was talking to my mother because
Listen,
RCMP just, officers just swarmed Malaya.
swarmed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they asked you to stay there. They asked her to stay there. Did they look into your Pathfinder or the Pathfinder? Did they search it?
No, they didn't at all.
Well, palm my honor, as my grandma would say. They didn't search Malay. They didn't look in Malaya's 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. Really? They didn't look in 2017 white Nissan Malaya's Pathfinder.
Because the RCMP just, officers just swarmed Malaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they asked you to stay there. They asked her to stay there. Did they look into your Pathfinder or the Pathfinder? Did they search it?
No, they didn't at all. No.
No, they didn't at all. They didn't at all. Okay.
Any point?
Not that I know of.
Now, was this the vehicle that went with Malaya? Like, I think it was towed later.
Yeah, it was actually towed by Commander of Operations. The guy's name is Josh. And he was actually pretty pissed about where they left it. They left it right at the bottom of Lansdowne Road when they left.
Interesting. And so
yeah, so he was pretty pissed about it. What he said is that goddamn fucking vehicle's always in the way of the search vehicles, right? So he said he's like, I had it towed out of here. It was White River Towing or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about where it was left because they use that road quite a bit.
White River Towing came and towed Miss Malaya's vehicle whenever she left, right? Now, in my opinion, this is where the RCMP made a mistake. And I think it's because it's Pictou County, Nova Scotia. It's a population of about 150, and they just don't think someone in this little population is going to unalive the kids or neglect them. This is Canada as Canada gets. And they just, because let's be honest, when most kids go missing, they vanish on their own. It's usually very innocent reasons why. But I think this is where they really messed up. I think they didn't take control of the house enough in the beginning. I don't think they should have allowed anybody in there, let alone the family, to stay overnight. Other members of the family, let alone Daniel and Malaya, in there that night. They should have checked those vehicles immediately. And they should have got that blue car. However, again, with the blue car, I think, in my opinion, I see it coming. Just in my opinion, not a fact, but I do believe that there will be tampering with evidence charges and destroying evidence in the future. Daniel did have the blue car crushed, he says. And again, I think Daniel should put out that receipt of having it crushed. Or did you have it destroyed, Daniel? If you had it crushed, you'll have a receipt on that. Not only will you have a receipt on that, there will be cameras that the RCMP will be able to get. They will be able to get, they collect the VIN numbers when they crush cars now and all of that. So, yeah. His ass at the command center post every day. Yep. See, he says he wasn't searched, but yesterday he had a Daniel Thimp come into your and Daphne's chat and say that all the cars were searched. Why does he lie? Why does she lie for Daniel? Who lies for Daniel? I don't know. They know about the car though. They know about the car. In fact, I'll say, I think they probably even have an idea, in my opinion, about. They could even have an idea of where Jack and Lily are. They could be building a case and watching the area. And while they're building the case and watching the area to make sure that Jack and Lily are not moved, and when they get ready to make arrest, they might look in a certain area.
And you don't, I mean, when it was towed, were you still in communication with Malaya?
No,
Watch his face.
I use that road quite a bit.
Hold on.
I had it towed out of here. It was White River Towing or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about where it was left because they use that road quite a bit.
And you don't, I mean, when it was towed, were you still in communication with Malaya?
No.
Okay.
And my wallet was left in the car.
His wallet was left in the 2017 white Nissan Pathfinder. Okay.
When it was towed, and then when I got my wallet back, everything was taken out except for my actual important stuff, like my driver's license, my bank card, my health card. All that stuff was still in there, but all the other stuff was taken.
Interesting. And did the investigators ever tell you that they didn't search it?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so there's a possibility that they searched it and just you're just not aware of it.
That is true. That could be true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they can't tell me everything, so.
Right, and it is her vehicle, so I'm not sure if they would come out and say, "Hey, we searched her vehicle to you."
Yeah. Well, I mean, they tell me lots of things, but it's just some things they don't.
Well, I'll ask you this: did they search your other vehicles on the property?
Watch.
I'm not totally sure. For the first couple of days, like I wasn't at the house, but I.
Daniel. Hold on a second. You just said in your last interview that they searched your cars, that car that you had crushed. Do you guys remember him saying that they searched the car, that it was just sitting there, that he had the RCMP had plenty of time to do what they want with it? Yeah. Let's see if I can find it quick. I need to close some of these windows, damn. Okay. Yeah, Daniel said he wasn't Kelly, thank you, baby, for gifting a pearl necklace. So kind of you, babes. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much, love.
Oh, I squashed the car.
If you received that pearl necklace, make sure you thank our dear Kelly.
It's apparent to everyone. I just don't know how people fall into.
It is beyond comprehension to me. And I mean, who knows? Have you heard recently that people are saying that your vehicle got stuck in the mud? And we have a question here. If that's true, who helped you get your car out of the mud, and why did you squash it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And notice how Daniel did not answer who helped him get the fucking car out of the mud. Who helped you, Daniel? Who helped you?
I squashed the car. Yeah, well, my car got stuck many days in advance. It wasn't like the night before or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not like his, blue car got stuck, the day before, the night of Jack and Lilly disappeared, right? It's not like that, he says. Of course not. That would only make too much fucking sense, wouldn't it, Daniel? So, of course not.
Yeah, well, my car got stuck many days in advance. It wasn't like the night before or anything like that. And the reason why I squashed it, because first of all, the inspection was up. And when you live in Nova Scotia, your cars rot out super fast. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but yeah, vehicles up for inspection, and it sat in the yard for I don't know how long, months and months and months.
Notice how he pauses a brief moment there. It sat in he had to think. It sat in where did it sit, Daniel? The yard. Well, it didn't sit in your yard. It was parked at your dad's. For a minute after you guys got it unstuck. Why don't you tell your supporters about that, Daniel?
Super fast.
I'll let you tell them.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but yeah, vehicles up for inspection, and it sat in the yard for I don't know how long, months and months and months. I had it crushed just like prior to the handlers for.
Yeah, it's not like it. What does he say there? It's not like they got stuck the night, or the night before or the night of the kids went missing. And then he says, I had it crushed just prior to the handlers, not the kids, right, Daniel?
For I don't know how long, months and months and months. I had it crushed just like prior to the handlers for bringing the cadaver dogs, and they asked me the exact same thing. Why did you have a crush? And I said it was, starting to rot out. We live in Nova Scotia, and there's no saving him at that point. So I just thought it's just an extra vehicle in the yard. It was already searched. It was already everything that would need to be done with it because it was there for months and months and months.
Yeah.
And I just decided, I'll just, scrap it at that point.
Yeah, because you're geographical.
So, but you can understand just the way the public is, how.
Okay, so yeah, it says it was searched, and he had it crushed just before the cadaver dogs, RCMP came, right? Got it, Danny.
Okay, so does it ever tell you that they didn't search it?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so there's a possibility that they searched it and just you're just not aware of it.
Let me find it.
Right, and it is her vehicle, so I'm not sure if they would come out and say.
It's just some things they don't. I'm not totally sure.
Did they search your other vehicles on the property?
I'm not totally sure. For the first couple of days, like
I'm not totally sure, Daniel.
I wasn't at the house, but I imagine they did.
That's a stressor. Watch him. You see him? Watch his face. So dumb. I can't with this buffoon.
A couple days, like I wasn't at the house, but I imagine they did.
Okay. Well, I would imagine that they would have. That would have been a big oversight to not do that. And I'm my assumption, and it's just an assumption, that the reason you don't know about it obviously is because, well, Malaya and you weren't talking. So at this point, you arrive. Officers are talking to Malaya. How long before the search team gets there?
The search team was actually fairly quickly. They actually had the command center and everything set up pretty fast. They had a lot of different
Okay. All right. There we go with that one. Okay. Let me find my other clips. Second part here. I just clipped certain parts that I wanted here.
Or
Okay.
dispatchments of different units. There's 23 different search organizations or search teams in Nova Scotia from each area. They have a total of 23.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if all 23 made it here, but there was some from the South Shore. I mean, a lot from all over Nova Scotia. And they had the Nova Scotia Guard called in at the house. They belong to Halifax Search and Rescue.
Good deal. And
Yeah.
so you weren't allowed to go into the woods. Where were you at during this time?
I was actually
I think it was the second day.
back by Mom's RV talking to her.
Okay, listen to this.
They belong to Halifax Search and Rescue.
Good deal. And
Yeah.
so you weren't allowed to go into the woods. Where were you at?
So you weren't allowed to go in the woods. Where were you at? Right? Daniel was not supposed to be in the woods. But he weaseled his little ass out of there, pretending like Bob Marley with the army gear on. I still remember his last name. He can remember the guy with the army shirt's last name, but he can't remember the 4 hours the last night he spent with his stepchildren. Gotcha, Daniel.
During this
Just
I
like
was
that.
actually
like that.
back by Mom's RV talking to her, and we were wondering why we couldn't go back into the woods. And then a number of minutes passed. I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes passed.
We were wondering why we couldn't go back into the woods. I would say 10 to 15 minutes passed. Okay. Then you could go back in the woods after 10 to 15 minutes.
And a guy in military gear, it said Oliver on the back of his
Listen to him. He's lying.
on his shirt or vest or what, on the back of his on his shirt or vest or whatever you want to refer to it as, or uniform, we'll call it.
Yeah.
He actually said, Daniel, you can go back into the woods. And I actually believe he was later on. He was a canine handler, but I don't know if the dog was there yet.
So he says Oliver says he can go back into the woods after 10 minutes of the RCMP being there. And he says this guy named Oliver said he could go back in the woods, and he believes he's a canine handler, but the canine handler, he wasn't sure if his dog was there or not. I mean, I don't think the canine handler is going to come without his dog when there's 2 kids missing. Just my opinion. I don't know. Could be wrong on that.
That point,
Understood.
because I remember seeing him with a canine unit. I'm pretty sure later on in the search.
And so you were allowed to go back in the woods.
Yes,
after-
and
after
then I
some time?
immediately jumped the fence, and I was
Listen.
right back into the woods, and I did all the streams that were up behind the house.
I did all the streams up behind the house. Up behind the house. Not. Okay. I got a question. Is there streams behind his house? Like, is there an actual creek behind his house? Because I thought the creek was in front of his house. Yeah. Mhm. Jump the fence, Superman Dan. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know why you just couldn't, like, walk around it or step over it, but he's got to be Superman Daniel.
That lead into that little marsh that's actually to the left.
Listen to what he says here. Listen to the words.
Streams that were up behind the house.
Streams up behind the house
That lead into that little marsh that's actually
that lead into the little
to the
marsh.
left of the house. That were up behind the house. That lead into that little marsh that's actually to the left of the house, which you showed.
Look at his meth lip.
Now, I don't know how true this is. I've heard rumors of this, that at some point you heard a scream and you thought it sounded like the kids. When was
Yeah,
it?
that was later on. That was
That is what you call either lying or math hallucination of you being up so many hours.
that would have been. It was still on that same stream path when I was walking up through the woods. I thought I heard a scream, but you have to remember I had a
Walking up through the woods, up through the woods.
helicopter right above me. There was drones. There was already people searching at this point. So I don't know if it was actually a child scream or not, but it did sound like a scream, but it could have been somebody yelling for the kids, right?
That's possible too. Yes, 100%.
But it was so hard to tell because the way the helicopter was going, it was going slow and doing. I was like, I almost swear I could feel like the rotor wash that was coming down off of the wind, because sometimes they would
Daniel, your rotor has been washed for decades.
go pretty low because the vegetation was pretty dense, because a lot of it's not hardwood, so there's no leaves, right? It's evergreen, so you have trees that are full of needles, so it's much more hard to get a good view from a helicopter through
Thank
that
you, Old
stuff.
Garden.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it being very difficult. At any point that first day, did they question you guys at all as far as maybe perhaps?
Listen.
Yeah, I
Being involved.
actually sat in my mother's vehicle, and Commander of Operations came down from the command center, and me and him sat in there, and we went over some of the stuff we're going over right now. Did you know the kids are going to be home from school that day? Would you have kept the kids home from school that day? What happened in the morning? Did you see the kids that morning? This is a lot of the similar questions you're asking me now.
Yeah, I can imagine so. And that happened that first day. So nighttime comes in. Around what time does the search stop on the first day?
It doesn't.
The search doesn't stop on the first day. They go right through the night.
Interesting. And when
So they essentially had from 10:30 in the morning, and we'll say to 10:30 a.m., we'll say to 10:30 p.m. That's 12 hours, right? Then 10:30 to midnight, that's another hour and a half. So by midnight, they've already searched 13 and a half hours. And then they search overnight into the morning and into the next day. They literally search 48 hours nonstop for Jack and Lilly. A 4 and a 6-year-old, there's 175 plus people out there searching for a 4 and a 6-year-old who they say have been missing for no more than 20 minutes. There is no way on God's green earth in Nova Scotia or Timbuktu that those children would have not been found. And there is no way, not only if they were out there, they would have been found, but you wouldn't have the abuse, the neglect, the about to split up, the financial issues, the CPS, the black eyes, the missing 40 some days of school, the way the stepdads hopped up on the math, the way the mom is not doing anything.
are you notified about a blanket?
Okay, listen close. Listen close.
If we're
Notified.
Okay, he's very uncomfortable. This is a big sore spot for Daniel. And this is probably one of the major things, in my opinion, that the RCMP will have major evidence on from, in my opinion, major crimes. Right, Dan? Not that you watch me, right? This was, in my opinion, one of his biggest mistakes. Happy, thank you so much for the coin, darling. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for your support, my dear. Joshua Jones, his wife disappeared, and they have 2 twin daughters. He is in Utah. There was a recent interview done on East Idaho News. I know that name, Joshua Jones, I think. I'll check. Cavette, thank you so much. Appreciate you very much for the jewels, my love. Thank you so very much for your support, my dear. Deb, I can't say publicly, my darling, because they haven't been found, and but I do believe. I think the RCMP is watching very closely at, in my opinion, what Daniel and maybe even Malaya does. And I think they will be found, though. I used to think that it would be near water. I'm not so sure anymore. Not so sure anymore, I will say that.
About a blanket.
If we're referring to the blanket that was up in the tree, or just the blanket in general.
Yeah, I mean, the only blanket that would be relevant, that one, Daniel. Yeah, they could find 27 blankets, but the only one that's actual lilies that matters, that one, the one that you flat out denied. We're getting to the good parts now. Listen.
Interesting. And when are you notified about a blanket?
If we're referring to the blanket that was up in the tree, or just the blanket in general.
Well, let's rewind then. So there's been a lot of confusion that you had denied that the blanket in the tree was lilies that ended up being lilies. Was there another blanket that was found out there?
There is actually another blanket. There's a full pink blanket. I was shown a picture of it, splayed out on the ground. Officer Karen Mason showed me that. She was involved in quite a bit of the, just back and forth stuff between the command center and me and Malaya and Mom and, some of the people involved, and just trying to relay information, keep us up to date and stuff like that.
And this pink blanket that they found, was it something that they found close to the house, or?
I'm not sure the location where it was found. There was a pink blanket, there was a water bottle, there was a children's t-shirt, and there may have been a sock or socks too, showing me as well, but none of them belong to Lily's, right?
Okay, right here. He tells on himself. Again, it's the truth wanting to come out. You have to overstep your brain to not tell the truth, because we naturally want to tell the truth. Our brain wants to figure out things, and it wants to tell the truth. Here's what he says. But none of them belong to Lily's, right? Well, why couldn't the water bottle or anything else have belonged to Jack? There is 2 kids missing, Daniel. Right? But the only thing that was found that is of material was something that belonged to Lily. Right? It was only, so he says, but none of them belong to Lily's, right? Now he's going to correct himself. Here.
Too was showing me as well, but none of them belong to Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's, none of them were Jack's.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them were Lily's, or none of them were Jack's. But none of them belong to Lily, right? I mean, but none of them belong to Lily, or none of them belong to Jack. But Lily's blanket was found, a kilometer away. These are two kids. They supposedly have like a backpack and diapers and clothes and boots and everything. And none of them belong to Lily. I mean, none of them belong to Lily. None of them belong to Jack. Got you, Daniel. That's right. Trash. How you doing, darling? Good to see you. I know he's lying because his lips are moving. Yep. Mm-hmm. Happy farmer. You need a Tylenol? Girl, I need something stronger. I have listened to this mofo all day, clipping these things and taking notes. I said earlier, I was literally mowing grass earlier. Clipping. Oh my God. I gotta
know all those items were found at
Lily's, right? Two was showing me as well. But none of them belong to Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's, none of them were Jack's.
Do you know if all those items were found at the same place, or were they found
Listen.
throughout?
I'm not sure where they were found. I was just told that, or any of these items, Lily and Jack's, we found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
No, they were not photographed. They were photographed individually.
Okay, so most likely then they were not found together.
Yeah.
And around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When
Listen.
was that one found?
That was found, it would have been during the daytime. So, because I remember I was at.
Hold on.
Around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When was that one found?
The full one that didn't belong to them, when was that found?
That was found, it would have been during the daytime. So, because I remember I was actually standing on the front deck when she brought her phone up to show me.
Okay. The full one that didn't belong to Jack and Lily, he says he was standing on the porch, right? But Daniel says he wasn't home much during the first or the second day. Okay.
So that would have been sometime during the day. So I'm saying between noon and 4 p.m. probably.
Well, what about the piece of a pink blanket, Daniel? What about that one? The one that belonged to Lily, the one that you denied for at least a week to the media. That one.
At 4 is when they found the pink blanket that was Lily's. That was a portion of the blanket, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. Let me see here. Bear with me, guys. It was about 4 o'clock. The document says Gannon and Mason were at Jack and Lily's residence on March 2nd, 2025. Sorry, May 2nd, 2025. Correct me. Apologize. Around 4 p.m. when Haley and Hayden were out in the woods to say that they found a pink blanket in the woods in a tree on Lansdowne Station. They showed pictures to Malaya and confirmed to Malaya and Daniel, confirmed that the blanket belonged to Lily. McGannon and Mason drove Haley, Hayden, and Hayden's girlfriend back to the location where they saw the blanket. McGannon seized the blanket. Martin said Martin and his police dogs were called to the area. He took photographs of the blanket. We walked for about 1 kilometer to the area and his dog on an adjacent trail. They did not pick up a scent to complete a track. Interesting. Didn't complete a scent for a track. Now, what I think they should do when they find items like this, I think they need to take the parent scent as well and see if they can complete a trail. That's my opinion, not just the children's scent. But anyway, the other part of the blanket was seized from Malaya and Daniel's house on May 4th at 9:09 p.m. It was located in a trash bag at the other end of the driveway on May 5th at 11:07 a.m. Gagnon and showed Corporal Titch, I'll just call him Titch, the seized blanket and compared it with the images of the blanket seized from the residence. She believed they were pieces of the same blanket. Titch checked to confirm if it was the same blanket and drove to the location where the blanket was seized. She confirmed it was exactly 1 kilometer from Jack and Lily's residence. Okay.
I'm not sure on the exact time on
Blanket that was Lily's, that was a portion of the blanket, correct?
Yeah. I'm not sure on the exact time on that either. It would be after 4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Gotcha. And
Because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns on my Uncle Ron's house.
So Daniel says it would have had to been after 4 o'clock because the bus shows the bus didn't see it while it was passing by there. Daniel says he didn't see it that morning. He was searching for Jack and Lily. We heard him say that earlier. But now Heath says, which is the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. When was this? 1 second. May 26th. Perfect. Okay. Now he says, let me find it here. 1 second. Okay. So listen to this.
Which is about 500 feet past where the blanket was found.
gotcha.
So, and the bus usually goes up there, and the bus usually makes its way up there around, I don't know, 3:55, between 3:55 and like 4 o'clock.
And this bus has cameras, correct?
Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Now, watch his lizard lips, right? The blanket wasn't there at 4 o'clock. Okay, just keep listening, guys. Let's see what Daniel says. My, how the stories change from the last, this was 7 months, where he just said that a minute ago. Let's see what he says today.
I believe it was professionals at this point, or somebody with the knowledge to commit a crime. That's
Let's see if he says this.
like, this is what I had to come to the absolute realization of. And at this point, like, if Malaya's not involved, I don't know what Major Crimes knows, right? So I can't speak on their behalf or what they know. But I believe it is criminal 100% at this point.
Okay, just remember that part as well. He says he believes it's criminal 100% now. And I agree with him. I do believe it's criminal. I don't believe it's technically criminal because they haven't publicly stated that, but I do believe it's criminal behind the scenes. And by the time they say it's criminal, they've usually got a lot of the work done.
And I believe that it was either,
Listen,
I believe it was professionals at this point, or somebody with the knowledge to commit a crime. that's done this stuff before.
Okay. Ducky, thank you so much for your gift, darlings. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you very much, honey. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, babe. Very kind of you.
And
listen to this.
They got away with it for now.
For now.
But,
yeah,
eventually they will get caught. And I hope they do.
I do too.
But where I come from this standpoint is there must have been some person or some organization of some kind of human traffickers that knew me and Malaya's routine. They stalked us. They knew everything, we do. And the kids were home from school. They, somehow knew that. And then they took the kids, and then they must have had an individual or a group of individuals plant the blanket up there at the perfect time. Because Charmaine, you know how much balls it would take in a missing person's, with 2 missing children missing, and then plant a blanket up the road.
Yeah.
The person must have had some serious balls to undertake that when there's helicopters in the air, drones, and hundreds of searchers and law enforcement and my family driving around and, neighbors that help search. That must have been, that was a really ballsy move to plant the blanket and, get it from the property and plant it up there at the perfect time, and then you can get away with it. It leaves, this crazy conspiracy type ordeal. But like at this point, I believe, if Malaya and her family aren't behind it, then that's the only other logical,
Well, that's not logical, Daniel. That's not even close to logical. Okay. So that's how it's changed in the last 7 months compared to this was 48 hours ago or something. Hey, Cal. Oh, wow. What? Professionals did it now? Oh, my God. Seriously, DM, give me a break. None of us fell under a turnip truck. So not sure what happened to you. Oh, my God. Just my opinion. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So that's my point here. This is my point right here. So he's talking about this blanket being found at about 4 o'clock, but it wasn't seen on the bus cam at 3:55 to 4 o'clock or 4:05, even though there's 2 buses that evening. And he says he did not see it that morning when he was searching for Jack and Lilly at, before 10:15 a.m. or so. And he says that he believes professionals did it, and they were stalking, I guess, the house, and knew Jack and Lilly wasn't going to school, and knew Jack and Lilly, I guess, would have got out of the house and played in the yard early that morning, right? And how did they get in there, Daniel? How did they get in your yard and without you guys knowing, and Tucka and Janie? Because Janie said she would have heard them, and so would you guys. But not only that, let's say all of that passed up and they still somehow got Jack and Lilly. I'm sure they would have got out of there like a bat out of hell, and they wouldn't be in that area, Jack and Lilly, because they would have been kidnapped and they would have got out of there like a bat out of hell. Like I said, they would have had to have come back hours later to plant that blanket while so many people are already out there, right? You're dumb as fuck, Daniel. He doesn't even think. He doesn't even think. Old garden gal gonna get caught. Won't be professional. No, sir. 1000% old garden gal. 1000% girl. Exactly. 1000%. It's like secondhand embarrassment for Daniel. Honestly, like he's not good at this. Thank you so much, Old Garden Gal, for a month. Appreciate you, love. My phone battery died, but marked down that he said searcher started at 10:30. It's important. Gotcha. Let me know what we're talking about on that one. I suggested he actually went out to find that other half of blanket before he called LE, but couldn't. I don't know what you mean by that. Well, I mean, they would have had to have, first off, known that a piece of, I mean, it's not every week you throw away a blanket, right? It's just not every week you throw away a blanket in your house. Blankets usually stay in your house for years, right? Years. But he had thrown a blanket away a little over a week ago, which I don't know how there's only one bag of trash in there when you threw it away over a week ago and it's in its own separate bag. But they would have had to know that blanket was in that trash can in a bag by itself, and that it was Lily's, even though he said, and none of them belong to Lily, right? I mean, none of them belong to Jack. He's telling us. It's so fucking obvious. Transcripts it. Oh my God, that's amazing, Little Red. Congratulations. That's so amazing. That's amazing. Awesome. Where was he, or what was he doing for the day or two? He was not around much. For what? I am locked on that. Well, he was, says he was in the woods searching. I don't believe he was in the woods searching. Yeah, no trash out in a week with 5 people in the house. I mean, one thing is the whole yard was trashed. You know what I mean? They didn't.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went.
Yeah,
Just listen to that
cameras,
again.
correct?
Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went.
Yeah, they both go both directions and multiple buses.
And it was not seen at 3:55, 4 o'clock when the bus passed.
No, they said they did not see it on any camera footage from the buses. So
That is, how far is the search command from where the blanket was found?
from the piece of Lily's blanket that was found in the tree, the actual command center itself.
Yeah.
It is okay. When you look at Lansdowne Station Road on the map.
Tell us, Danny.
I'll just wait for you here to set that up, and then we can take a look.
Yeah,
I'll give you the exact location.
So here is. Do you see it?
Yeah. So that is. So Lansdowne Station Road. As soon as you're going up Lansdowne Station Road, you go across a little bridge.
It's this direction.
Lansdowne Station.
Oh, this direction. Okay.
Yeah. So Lansdowne Station Road. There you go over a little tiny bridge.
Okay.
I don't know.
Have I gone too far?
Yeah. It goes right on Lansdowne Station Road. There's a little bridge when you're going down, and then you see, when you're seeing right around that turn there, that's where it is. You just headed on it. Right past that little dirt road there, that little gravel pit dirt road. Yeah.
Why? I'm just curious.
I don't know what you mean, the dog dying after Christmas. I don't know what you mean with that one, baby. Of course, darling. RCMP would not tell him that on the bus footage. Hell no, they wouldn't tell him on the footage. Hell no. And there was 2 buses, by the way.
but why would they make command so far south of where you guys live? Did they say anything about that by any chance?
I'm not sure the actual reasoning for making it there. I know it's a road that's they had a long stretch going down that hill, going to the command center, so everyone could park their cars. Because there was hundreds of cars there, Daniel.
Now,
search vehicles. They had to move in, RCMP
Absolutely.
SUVs and everything, right?
so how long after law enforcement arrived at 1027 did the command post get set up? Was that something that was that?
I mean, Shannon, let me tell you something. I don't know how. I mean, this is Malaya's, like, I know it's at least her second relationship in the last year. I really think third, to be honest with you. Like, the kids just hit a year being missing this month, right? And she's already had like 3 men. I want to tell you something. If I ever get divorced, I would never marry again. I would never marry again. I don't think I would ever live with any other man, woman, nothing. I don't know why people feel like they've got to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, they feel like, oh, I got to have a man or I got to have a woman. I mean, of course, everybody wants companionship, until you've been married 20 years. I'm just kidding. I joke. But seriously, like, why does she, like, I will stay single. I'm telling you, just like you have your place, I'll have mine. I think if you ever got divorced or God forbid something happened, that's why. Why do you gotta like, it's like she's got 2 kids missing. She's got this crazy ass ex. Why is she making more exes already? Why is Daniel sleeping around, with searchers and everything else? They both have a child in foster care and 2 children missing, and they're just like living it up.
That's like the first thing that happened.
I'm not sure. I was actually in the woods for a lot of that, Daniel. So I don't have like a clear time that was set up. Clear time that I could say the setup like began or was completed.
So around what time were you notified, and how were you notified about the pink blanket that belonged to
Listen to this. Listen. Nervous.
The pink blanket that belonged to Lily, I wasn't notified at all about that. I was actually told there was a piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket?
Annoys the fuck out of me when he says this, because it is the most obvious thing I have ever heard in my life. Yarika, thank you so much, baby. Appreciate you for your gift. Thank you so much, darling. And Halo, thank you so much for your gift, darling. Appreciate you guys. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so very much, my dear. Twisted, today is my birthday. Another year under my belt. Moving on to write my next chapter. Happy birthday, my dear Twisted. Happy birthday. From Maryland, of course, and all of us here at the Pearls. The world is your oyster. It's up for you to find the pearls. And guess what? Why does it keep... There we go. Sorry about that. And the world is your oyster. It's up for you to find the pearls. And guess what, Twisted? You did. We're right here. This is my rendition of Happy Birthday, Mr. President, that the late, great Marilyn Norma Jean Monroe sang to our President John Fitzgerald Kennedy so many years ago. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear little twisted. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday, little twisted. Don't be getting a little twisted tonight, honey. Okay? You make sure you drive responsibly. All right. Happy birthday, dear. Okay. This is where he annoys me, and it's very obvious, where Daniel says, I found a piece of a blanket. And I immediately put two and two together. Now, I don't know if I would immediately put two and two together if I'm high on math. You've been up for 48 hours and you have two kids messing, and that you threw away a piece of a pink blanket over a week ago, even though Malaya says she's the one that threw it away.
The pink blanket that belonged to Lily, I wasn't notified at all about that. I was actually told there was a piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket?
No, Daniel. Remember, Haley, your cousin, and her boyfriend came back, and y'all were supposedly on the back porch, according to the RCMP documents and your cousin, and they said, we found a blanket up in a tree, a pink blanket up in a tree. And the RCMP officers goes down there and looks and takes pictures of it and all that. They walk them back down there where they found the blanket. But Daniel says he immediately put two and two together.
Pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket. And I put two and two together. I ran out to the garbage bin, and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag, and clearly there was somebody who went into the garbage,
He's nervous
or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
That's interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you what a fucking hand-size hole looks like. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a hand-size hole. What you see on this screen, in my opinion, is a big hand-size hole. Right? What is that song? Daniel's got the hand-size hole in his hands. He's got the hand-size hole in his hands. Daniel's got the hand-size hole in his hands. He's the hand-size. Okay, sorry.
Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture?
The piece of the blanket? No.
No. Okay,
No.
so they just told you they found a piece, and you went to the garbage bin. And
Yeah.
where in the garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket? Was it towards the
Okay,
top, in the middle,
there
the
was-
bottom?
These were like large industrial sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And
Okay, so these are large industrial bags. Are they clear? Are they white bags? Are they black bags? Now, I think they might be clear because I think, in my opinion, these are the ones, in my opinion, Daniel, in my opinion, steals, in my opinion, from his work, in my opinion, those ones. But that's just me. That's just what I think, because he's got those clear industrial bags that he had at home when he put the kids' clothes in. Right. He said one bag was clear. Math size hole. Yes, that's what it is. He's got the math size hole in his nose. He's got the math size hole in his nose. Okay, so here we go.
Mom would always yell at me, don't put so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags like really heavy, right?
Okay.
And so I had the blanket was in a garbage bag, but there was another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged.
Now, why would I double bag? Why would I just put this piece of a pink blanket in a trash bag and throw that bag in the other trash bag? That doesn't make sense, right? Unless you wanted it to, be planted there, maybe. Just permanently borrowed from work. Right. Right. Oh my God. I have to be a little bit silly sometimes, guys, or I do this a lot. So I kind of have to make myself, laugh, or I would probably jump off a bridge.
Interesting.
And you could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and pulled something out, but it looked to be like.
I just want you to look at his face while he's doing this. Seriously, watch his facial expressions.
You could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and pulled something out, but it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But
Now, I don't know about you, right? Hey, Frost, good to see you, honey. I appreciate your humor today, Justin. Thank you, Gypsy. I don't know about you, but if your kids or a family member was missing, I don't know you would be this excited. Talking in this tone, smiling, giggling as you laugh, that the fake to lighten it up, kind of, there's usually not a hand size hole. He thinks he is. And, I did agree with him earlier when he said the person is getting away with it now. Yes. Not one tear from anyone except, yeah. Yes, Susanna.
The bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It was
okay. The blanket was at the bottom of the bag. It wasn't pulled all the way out. Now listen, the blanket, just listen, because
the blanket was still at
the blanket was still at
bottom of the bag, right?
The bottom of the bag, right? Okay. So the blanket was at the bottom of the bag here. Yes, guys, hit the thumbs up or double tap the screen, please. Or I'll do ASMR. True
It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that. So
excuse me. God.
Was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
Okay, listen to this.
it was the garbage bag. That one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag.
Daniel, you know, you are about 130-pound garbage bag, in my opinion, allegedly.
And it was just, that was the only bag that was in there.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't
that
any
one?
other trash on top.
No,
of it.
there was nothing else piled on top of it or underneath it.
So if somebody opened the
Okay, nothing was piled on top of it or underneath of it. I guess he means other bags
the
there.
bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blacking in there. Yeah.
Okay. And so it seems like in the documents that it alludes that they showed you guys a picture and that you guys confirmed it. Was that
Exactly,
if you didn't see a picture, do you know if Malaya did?
I'm not sure if she did or not. I have no idea.
Yeah, you
Because
did.
I actually wasn't present at the house very much during the search because
Let
I
me
was just
find it.
out in the
Hold
woods
on.
searching, man.
Understood.
Like
And so-
I poured my heart and soul into just searching as hard as I could.
I can imagine. And you're out there searching. Did you find out that night or was it the next day about the boot prints?
I actually
Report
found
his
out, I
heart
think it
and
was the next day. And then when I asked investigators when the boot print was found, they told me they weren't sure on the exact time it was found, but they thought it was found during the middle of the night.
Okay. And I've heard from the underground, so to say, that these boot prints, and I think Daniel shows, I've shown it here too as well, but from what I understand, that these boot plants were planted, even though Daniel says they're not 100% sure that these are Jack and Lily's. Yeah, they are. I can show you for the 1,000th time where they said in the RCMP documents where they went to great lengths to confirm that this was the same size as Jack and Lily's boot prints. They went to Walmart, they checked the treads and all of that. Now, I'll say that I hear that the working theory is that there was 3 sets, allegedly, of some shoe prints, and that the biggest set of footprints was in the middle. Like if you had, let's say, for instance, you was holding, you had a kid on this hand holding their hand, and you had a kid on this hand, there would be 3 sets of footprints. In my opinion, I'll just say the working theory is that this person walked in this area of mud and put boot prints on this side, a few boot prints on this side, and then put a few boot prints on this side. And then there was allegedly some grass or that there like wouldn't be mud, and that they, in my opinion, allegedly likely stepped over there and walked out maybe regularly, maybe on the side of their shoes or their boots, if you will. Shannon, let it out, girl. It's okay. We have to be angry some days. We should be angry. And trust me, I get it, baby. I am so angry that we have to put all of this stuff together and check these bastards that are lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old. I mean, lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old. Logan also has a younger son named Jack, not Jack Sullivan. Yes, you need to hear the recorded call earlier days in the argument with Anita. Janie said only confirmed print was Jack's in driveway. Yes, that's a call where she says she's talking to her son, and everyone was like, Jack. And they were like, are they talking about Jack? You know, she has a son named Jack too. I think it's the one, right, Randy? Yeah, it will. Okay, now listen to this, which is Lizard Lips.
Okay, and I know, and I made a mistake, guys, and I want to premise this. This was my mistake. I had indicated that this image here was a representation of what they had seen with the bare feet and the footprint.
So, this is the text that Malaya sends the family. Just got a text from a member on scene, the children's boot print. A police dog handler has located very distinctive set of youth footprints on the natural gas pipeline. And this is what I mean by that. It's like, in my opinion, I'll just say that someone is walking in the middle and they they turn to the left and they plant a couple boot prints or shoe prints. I don't think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like each time. But they plant these while they're in the middle. The adult is in the middle. They plant a couple boot prints and then they turn over here and then they plant those boot prints. And I will say this. What I do? Okay. In my opinion, guess what, guys? Daniel, you're gonna shit. After these boots are planted, or these boot prints are planted, guess what happens? Guess what happens? Guess. Daniel, you know what he does? You know what he does? In my opinion, he goes back to the house and he throws them in the stove. Don't you, Daniel? Yep, that's what he does. He goes back to the house and then he throws. Damn, what's mouse is messing up my screen here. He goes back to the house. Oh my God, I gotta fix this. Why does it keep doing it? And then he throws those boots in the stove. Along with the backpacks. Oh, it did. It did. And whenever the RCMP gets there, guess what is still the stove is still on. The stove is still on. There's still smoke, which we have pictures of it coming out of the top. No, summer breeze, it didn't just start, honey. A lot of my notifications didn't go out today because I started early and all of that stuff. So a lot of my notifications didn't go out today. Oh, thank you, Brandy. I don't know where it went there. Thank you, Miss Brandy. Appreciate you very, very much, my darling. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Brandy. let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. Does anyone remember the temperature the day Jack and Lily went missing? Let's see here. No shit. What is it? What was the temperature in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County, Nova Scotia on May 2nd, 2025? I'm looking. I'm asking AI. I don't know if it says in chat. I want to know what the temperature was during that day. Remember, it's May. It's not January. Still can get cold, but it's not. Okay. So at 4 a.m., it was, 9 a.m., it was 45.9 degrees. That's 45 is pretty warm, right? 45 is 45 pretty warm for you Canadians? That's Fahrenheit. That would be 6.7 Celsius. That's at 10 a.m. It's 45 degrees. It gets 50 degrees that day. Or 10.4 Celsius that day. That's not really cold. But it's Canadians. That's not. It's cold for kids, right? But it's not. 10 degrees Celsius is not like terrible. It's cool. Are you going to have at 10 degrees Celsius, are you going to have a fire moving out of your house in the trailer? Depends where you live in Canada and Alberta. That is warm. Yeah, I guess it depends where. I don't know. Oh, Miss Kelly, thank you, sweetheart. You're very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, honey. I'm sorry I didn't see that. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you thank our Miss Kelly.
I hope people are paying attention to this.
Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls, yeah, you're in the clue. Shine bright like the stars, this world never knew. We're dancing, laughing all around this world. Hold tight, shine bright, you're part of our pearl.
Thank you, Miss Kelly. You are amazing. And here's a bonus.
Marvin, you better not shit where you eat, honey. Get out of here. What the fuck?
Thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Really, really do appreciate you. Justin, do you have your old Subway clip? I forgot about that, Sandwich. What was my old Subway clip? Damn, I forgot about it. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Oh, I forgot about that. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. I like the sound of like the subway, or like the airports, like the sounds of "stand clear of the closing doors, please," or "prepare cabin crew for takeoff."
I went back and read my conversation with Daniel, so I just wanted to clarify it. What he said was that this picture, he had problems with it
find it.
because he couldn't understand why a third person came, but this wasn't something that was shown to him by investigators. Kind of clarify, where did
Hold
the
on, let me
feet
find
and the footprints? I went back and read my
Daniel's very uncomfortable right here. Watch this.
conversation with Daniel, so I just wanted to clarify it. What he said was that this picture, he had problems with it because he couldn't understand why a third person came, but this wasn't something that was shown to him by investigators.
What's that?
Kind of clarify, where did this image come from?
That image originally came from Maritime Happenings. Mom actually received it from Malaya. So Malaya sent it to my mother,
Now listen.
and then mom and my brother came home on the ATV from their search, from where they were searching.
Listen. Okay. So Daniel doesn't know anything about these shoe prints, right? He didn't see him, doesn't know anything about him, but he knows his mom came home with the brother when they were, and then he says, when they were searching.
And then
Watch it.
mom and my brother came home on the ATV from their.
Watch his eyes. Watch him. He's making this up. He's being very careful here, and he has to be very careful. Watch him closely.
Malaya. So Malaya sent it to my mother, and then mom and my brother came home on the ATV from their search, from where they were searching, to talk to Malaya, see what this photo was about. But it was actually Maritime Happening, which originally posted it, and that came from one of the searchers, I guess.
It supposedly came from Malaya. It supposedly came from Malaya. So you're watching pretty closely there, right? You're watching pretty closely there.
Understood. So it wasn't something that you saw from the investigators or from the search.
No, it wasn't anything like that.
Did they ever tell you that there was 3 prints?
I don't actually
Hold on,
remember
what?
That there was 3 prints.
Yes, they did, Daniel.
I don't actually remember that, but
Oh, I bet you don't. I bet you don't. I bet you don't remember them telling you there was 3 sets of prints because, they were planted, right? And someone had to plant them, and someone was in the middle planting those shoe prints. In my opinion, I'll just say the working theory is that there was this, okay, think about this. There was this little set of mud where it had rained and stuff. They walk in the middle, they plant a couple boot prints, on this side, and all 3 of them, not just one set of boot prints keeps going on, not 2 sets of boot prints keep moving on. All 3 boot prints stop at the same spot. And Daniel, still to this day, is not saying that those are Jack and Lily's, and that those were planted as well, just like the blanket. They were absolutely meant to be found, just like the blanket was found, planted in a tree. They were planted, then they were destroyed, in my opinion, I'll say, in the wood stove.
That picture always just bugged me, and then
Bet it did.
even if they did tell me there was 3 prints, like, that doesn't make sense to me, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes perfect sense to me, Daniel. What do you mean? It makes perfect sense to me, right? Right, Daniel? Right? That there's 3 sets of boot prints. It doesn't make sense that they all stop in one area. It doesn't make sense that there's no boot prints, legitimate boot prints of Jack and Lily walking in the yard, except one other planted one in the yard. But RCMP doesn't confirm that. But it's ironically pointing toward the road. But again, you know what happens if you're walking in mud and then step on asphalt, or you're driving in mud and then you get on the pavement. You're going to see boot prints, right? You're going to see little muddy spots or whatever, because you go from mud or gravel or whatever. You're going to see those spots on the asphalt, just like when logging trucks go from a dirt road and then pull out onto the pavement. You see the tracks. You're full of shit, Daniel.
I mean, when two kids are missing, they don't gain a follower to go missing with.
Right.
Now listen to his words. Listen to Martell's words right there.
It's like, that doesn't make sense to me, Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, when two kids are missing, they don't gain a follower to go missing with.
That's right. That's right. They don't gain a follower to go missing with. Because they never went missing. It was made to look like they went missing until you're really bad at it. Here is a picture of Malaya Brooke Murray, April 29th at 6 a.m. There is an audio call for 39 seconds. 6 a.m. Malaya's calling people on April 29th at 6 a.m. Who would she be calling at 6 a.m. for 39 seconds? What is she doing there on April 29th at 6 a.m.? I don't call any fucking body at 6 a.m.
Right. And here, just to kind of show everybody, this is where the image came from. This is Malaya Brooks, and this was at 10/7/16 in the
April 3rd, a day later at 10:16 a.m. They found this during the nighttime.
morning on May 3rd from Malaya
These
to your
boot
mom.
prints
Your
in the
mom
night.
sent me this photo so that we could see.
Well, you don't call Facebook Messenger with Facebook Messenger. Sherry? You can't leave me, Sherry. No, ma'am. We are portable. You just take me right in to the bed with you and hubby and just set our phone there. Just sit the phone down. Put me under your pillow. And you'll hear me go. Wah, 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 wah. That's what you hear. Good night, Miss Sherry. Love you, darling. Okay, here we go.
This is where the that message came from. Now, the location of the boot prints, it's near the pipeline, kind of somewhat in the direction of
Watch his face.
the pink blanket. If we I wanted to show you this and get your opinion on this. So the blanket was found here. There's a road that leads back up. Now I kind of just did a line here, but there, if you follow this road and you just follow this.
Okay. All right, I got to find the next part. I don't know if maybe I started with this part, I hope.
Used to be an actual road that was used quite a bit, but now over the years, it was just
Okay, listen to this.
used for, they used it for logging. There's cutovers up there and stuff like that.
They didn't find any footprints around here, right? Where the blanket
No,
was?
not that I'm aware of, and that's all fresh gravel.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
weird, man.
that's all fresh gravel. That
Listen.
whole Lansdowne Road was totally redone. It's all fresh gravel.
Yes, this Lansdowne Road was completely redone. They graded it and they put a bunch of new gravel and dirt and all of that in that area. It shows all the marks, doesn't it?
You would see any footprints that were put on there at that time.
So the second day comes, they tell you about the prints on the about the boot prints.
Mhm.
What do you think about those boot prints? Who do you think they belong to?
I couldn't tell you. There's a lot of kids in the area. That's what.
Oh, now Daniel wants you to believe that there is a lot of kids in the area. You know, the population of 150, right? Population 150. And there's a lot of, Walmart, little boy and little girl, 4 and 6 years old size prints, right? Not Jack and Lily's who just went missing, that they went to great effort to confirm that these was Jack and Lily's boot prints, but it could be any kid in the area, says the math tell. Those boot prints and that blanket, Daniel, in my opinion, sealed it for you.
That's what I kind of think where they came from. But to find only one boot print, the kids would have had to walk up that hill, and there's a ton of mud there, Daniel.
One boot print.
I mean, the incline of that hill and that terrain is not easy for children.
You're right.
Just to walk up from the road to that pipeline would have probably taken over an hour.
Okay. All right, Daniel. Fair enough. I would agree. Probably would took them over an hour to walk that kilometer. You're absolutely right. So, Daniel, my question is, if it would have taken them over an hour to walk there and they were only missing 20 minutes, could you please describe to the class how you think you jumped in your car and started going up every dirt road and checking every culvert and all that? Because like I said, those kids, your mom had just heard them 10 minutes prior. Why would anyone jump in their car and start running up and down the roads when it's a 4 and 6 year old and they couldn't have gone that far? You're saying it would have taken them an hour at least to get over there. Nobody knows. I mean, everybody knows rather that they're not going to get that far. In 20 minutes, especially a little boy with a diaper on, a little girl who's trying to guide her brother, supposedly, and has a backpack on, and a little boy with just a diaper, that, you know how uncomfortable it would be. You and Malaya said that the moment they got cold, they would go back inside. You know that they didn't go anywhere.
And by that time, the helicopters would have seen them if they were in the woods.
You're right. You're right. They would have. The technology, let me tell you how good the technology is. With these heat-seeking devices that they have, like if you're riding like a four-wheeler or whatever, it will show the trail of your tracks from way down where you've already came from because of the heat, the little minute heat generally that comes from your four-wheeler wheels or your car wheels or whatever. It will show the tracks. That's how heat sensitive it is. It will show a damn field mouse in a field That's how sensitive it is. It's not hard to find someone that is alive out there at all, or even, dead within 12 to 15 hours, right? Because when you die, you lose about 1.5 degrees per hour. It takes your body cools about 1.5 degrees per hour. So in 2 hours, you're going to lose about 3 degrees of your normal body temperature. So whenever, like people say, when people are like dead, and there's only one dead, right? But when they're dead, they feel cold. No, they're not cold. They're just the absolute temperature of the room. Whether that's 70 degrees, we're normally, 98.6 about or so. We're just whatever the temperature of the room is around us. If the room is 50 degrees, the person will be 50 degrees after they've totally cooled off. So you're so dumb, Daniel.
My only problem with that is if there's mud there and it's muddy, if somebody went out there and planted them, where are their footprints?
That is correct too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the main portion of the mud is actually on the actual 4-wheeler trail that's on the pipeline.
What, Daniel? You're being real careful there.
That's correct too.
Watch him.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the main portion of the mud is actually on the actual 4-wheeler trail that's on the pipe.
Yeah, he's making sure he's going through. Not going to say what. I got to make sure. What road was I on? What trail was it found on?
Pipeline. All the rest of the pipeline, for 90% of it, it's all just moss and
oh yeah,
moss and just grass or a marshy type grass. No. But still, if you're walking along that, your footprints would have left indentations in the grass.
Yeah,
it would have.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean, especially if it's an adult.
You would think.
That's going out there, that's heavier than these kids.
Yeah.
You would assume that they would have left some indentions as well. Now, this says here that a police dog handler located the set of footprints. Do you know if that's true? Like, how did they come across the footprints, in your opinion?
Yeah, tell us, Daniel.
I actually heard the footprints were actually found in the middle of the night, and they actually had an untrained bloodhound up in that area. I'm not sure if that's what they're referring to by police dog handler or not.
It was found in the middle of the night.
There were so many dogs out there.
Yeah, I can imagine. And so when is the first time?
But they did tell me they exhausted that whole area. They sent so many searchers in. They sent the dogs in. They exhausted that area for multiple days.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people might say, oh, well, this is going to your uncle's house. Maybe you planted them. I find it weird. I don't understand why somebody would plant evidence that's leading to the direction of a.
I've never actually seen the actual location of the footprint in real life.
Yeah.
So, I told investigators this, and I've never seen the actual blanket hanging in the tree. I've never seen that.
Gotcha.
He's never been to where the footprint is, guys. Never been to where the footprint is, and he's never seen where. Now, oh my God, he's never seen the boot prints in real life where they were. Not that he would be interested, not that any parent would be interested to see where that is, right? And he says he's never seen where the boot print is, even though we have an interview of him showing where the blanket was in the tree from the news. It's the interview where he shows where the blanket was. He goes hanging on this limb right here. And then he goes back. They go back to the house, and he's showing where the blanket came out of the trash. And then after that, he does an interview for DT about where the blanket was, but he's never been there.
So
when is the so the next day comes, searchers are out there. How long are searchers on the in the area searching for Jack and Lilly?
for the first initial search, I think it was like 6 or 7 days. I'd have to relook at all or look at all the actual how many days they were here for, but it was 6 or 7 for the first initial search, and then they came back the next weekend and they did that search as well. And that doesn't include when the dive teams came in.
Listen to
I
this.
talked with those guys after they were done finishing Lansdowne Lake and some of the ponds and the streams, and they assured me that there was no evidence that the kids were near any water.
I don't like the sound of this. I don't like the sound of him saying this. Watch his behavior and watch what he says. They insured me. They can't insure you that there's no evidence that the kids are not near any water. They can say, we don't believe that they are in that pond or that. And this, it kind of makes me wonder, are they next to water? But then there's something that I can't say that I want to, but I can't. That he continually points at a direction. So I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to what he says there.
That search as well. Look at all the actual how many days they were here for, but it was 6 or 7 for the first initial search, and then they came back the next weekend and they did that search as well. And that doesn't include when the dive teams came in. I talked with those guys after they were done finishing Lansdowne Lake and some of the ponds and the streams.
The dive teams coming in, the pond teams, or they searched the ponds, the streams, the lakes, and they
assured me that there was no evidence that the kids were near any water.
There's no evidence that the kids were near any water. Well, that's highly unlikely because if the kids got out on their own, which they didn't, but they go the path of least resistance, and which is generally the lowest point, the most level point, which is usually a cream
And
or a stream or a.
your property, I know it was recently searched with the cadaver dogs.
Yep.
How many times has it been searched by the search team and the dogs, whether it was the first time they were out there or second, third? How
Watch
many
his
times
face.
is the totality?
The amount of times the property was searched was, I can't even put a number on it, Daniel, because it was constantly new people coming in and walking through the property. Like for the whole time, there was just new people coming in. I mean, there's the amount of ribbons I see around. It's in the thousands in Lansdowne.
Gotcha. And so they're coming in, they're searching the property. How long before you're brought into a police station?
I was brought in. I don't remember what day I was brought in because
You
all the
don't?
days mashed together.
Mhm.
But I was brought in by 2 investigators that were originally on the case.
Okay.
And I haven't seen those guys in a while now. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Watch him.
But those 2 original guys took me in, and we went into the Stellarton detachment, which is in Pictou County, not the major crimes headquarters that's in Bible Hill.
Mhm.
But I sat in a room with them, and they bought me some food and some coffee, which we know why that was for, right?
They bought me some food and coffee, which we all know what that was for, right? It sounds a little bit paranoia, doesn't it? Yes. No, not a 24-hour live, girl. I'm too old. I'm too old and decrepit for that. Shannon, 24-hour live. It's funny. Um. Oh yeah. Yep. Ariel, you're absolutely right. He does. He absolutely does. He's worried about now. Again, he says that he is the only one that they have taken DNA from. He's the only one that they have taken DNA from. But he's like, that's why they bought me coffee. We all know what that's for.
Collect DNA.
Yeah.
And you know, they never had to ask me for any of that. I was willing to give them everything.
Right.
No, you weren't.
But yeah, we ran over the timeline the 2 days prior, and
We ran over the timeline the 2 days prior. Now, that is true, but Daniel didn't give enough information. And remember, he intentionally, in my opinion, confused Wednesday and Thursday up, right? And even in the RCMP documents, it said, we think Daniel is getting the days confused because they had the Malaya's maps and the Google Maps and all that. And after they had checked everything, he wanted to make it seem like Wednesday was Thursday. No, Daniel, wasn't going to work. But he just claims he's just a witness, not a suspect. Well, I got him on something up here.
I drew them a map of everywhere I went during the search. And
Daniel drew them a map. Okay. Of everywhere that he searched. Okay. Daniel, could you share that map? Oh, let me see if I can upload this. Now, do I have it? Daniel said something earlier that I found absolutely terrible. That if he really, okay, listen to this. See if I can find it.
She couldn't do with Facebook Messenger, right? To do it like stuff like that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then for this next question,
Let me see if I can find it.
Damien said if you can't or won't say publicly, you could just send it to me to send it over to Damien. But he's wondering if you remember.
All right, listen to this right here. Listen to this.
Or call she couldn't do with Facebook Messenger, right? To do whatever, like stuff like that. Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then for this next question, Damien said if you can't or won't say publicly, you could just send it to me to send it over to Damien. But he's wondering if you remember exactly where you were when you thought you heard that scream. It's strictly for search purposes. Do you remember where you were? I don't know the exact coordinates.
Okay. Damien said it's strictly for search purposes. Can you tell us where you were when you were recording? Okay. And Daniel says, yes, I remember where it was. Okay. Cool. Daniel just said here that he drawed the RCMP maps, right? And he says he wants Jack and Lilly to be found at all costs, and he has nothing to do with it. Got it? Okay. All right.
I do know where it was at, and I searched that heavily. See, the problem I have with that is there were so many people yelling and screaming during the search, and in combination with the helicopter and drones, because the drones are very loud too.
When he heard Jack and Lilly screaming.
Because some of them are quite large. So I did search that area. I know where it is, but if, Damien's pro-Malaya, I don't want to speak to him. Because, that's just how it is. I'm not going to put myself in a situation where they're going to take Malaya's side and not hear me out. I don't want anything to do with them people.
Okay. Okay. So Daniel says, because the person asked about Daniel, where you might have heard Lily screaming, can you tell us that location? And he says, yeah, I do. And then he says, that area was heavily searched. But he says, but because you are pro Malaya, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. And then he says, because if you're not willing to listen to me, my side, then I don't want anything to do with you. Right? So Daniel clearly doesn't give a fuck about finding Jack and Lily. He cares about if you believe him or not. But listen, continue.
Everyone should remain in a neutral position, just like you did, remain. That's why I'm on here right now. You're not pro Daniel. You're not pro Malaya. You're pro Lily and Jack. And from what I gathered, most of the people on that search are pro Malaya. That's why Malaya felt so comfortable. So,
okay. From most people on that search, this most recent search, they were pro Malaya. That's why Malaya felt so comfortable.
I avoid any talk with people that think I hurt the kids, because I'm not into changing people's minds or their beliefs. Everyone has their own beliefs.
I'm not into changing people's minds, he says. But he just said in the previous sentence, if you're not willing to listen to me or hear me out, if you're not willing to listen to me or hear me out, but I'm not here to change people's minds, but I'm not going to tell you that information because you're pro Malaya and you won't hear me out. But I'm not here to change people's minds. Got it, Daniel. Got it. Yeah. He's real good at this, isn't he? It's never been about Jack or Lily for Daniel. It's never been about Jack or Lily for Daniel. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because if it was about Jack or Lily, yeah, I thought I heard something there. But you're pro Malaya and go to hell. That's what he's like. He so fell for it. He's so dumb. So dumb.
And also, we just talked about everything that led up to where I was that day, sitting down talking to them.
And
look at that. Look. So he's telling you what? He was talking to the RCMP about.
Where I was that day, sitting down talking to them.
And this after.
So the RCMP wanted to know where you was that day, the day Jack and Lily went missing, sitting down talking to them.
That you and Malaya were no longer in communication?
Yeah, this was after that, yeah.
Okay. And so did you drive in there on your own? Did they pick you up?
No, they actually drove. Whenever they needed me, they actually came and got me.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Got you.
Because they wanted to know for 100% that I was coming or not, or so they always came and got me. Like I was with them every day for the first, quite a few days. Like I seen them every day. That wasn't my first interrogation though. I wasn't sitting in the Stoughton dispatch or Stoughton department. That was my very first actual audio recording with them. Was the second day of the search.
Second day of the search was his first audio recording. That's when Major Crimes came in.
Before Malaya left.
First day of the search.
I actually sat in with Major Crimes officers and.
Okay, so even before Malaya left, Major Crimes was there. They weren't there on the 2nd, but they came on the 3rd. By the 3rd, because they did not find them on the 2nd and they had searched 48 hours or close to 36 hours, almost 48. 12, hold on. 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They had searched about 20 hours. But by the third, what was it? The third, second, third, when Major Crimes got there, I think that's whenever things started getting tense. And then that's when the fight broke out.
And we recorded everything that I did and everything I knew of so far up there. I mean, up in.
You see what he says right there? Up there. Everything that I did and everything that I said up there. And then he says,
everything that I did and everything I knew of so far up there. I mean, up until they were talking to me.
up there. Everything that I did and everything that I said up there. I mean, up there that they were talking to me. I mean, up until they were talking to me. I really think that they're watching Daniel really fucking hard right now. I think that they are watching him like, and they have been watching him like a hawk. Well, thank you so much, Jim. Appreciate you. There's a couple things that I've caught, but I just cannot say it because of this fuck boy right here on the screen. Because I'm just saying, I think the RCMP really knows what he's been up to, right, Daniel? What you've been up to?
We recorded the second day of the search before Malaya left. I actually sat in with major crimes officers and we recorded everything that I did and everything I knew of so far up there. I mean, up until they were talking to me.
And
so we actually, during the interrogation at the Scotia Dispatch, we actually went over a lot of the stuff we already did, just so they could cross-reference, right?
And how long were you out there for at the dispatch?
What was that?
How long did that interview take? Was it a couple of hours?
The original one, sitting in the major crimes van with them, that was about 45 minutes to an hour. And then, but the actual interrogation, if you want to call it, at the Scotia Dispatch, that one was almost 4 hours.
His first interrogation was 4 hours. Yeah. RCMP knows where up there is. They know where up there is. They're watching him. There might be 50 drones in the air right now, Daniel. How about that? You actually think there's 50 drones? There probably are, Daniel. I bet you they got red, white, and orange lights now. Probably hear them hovering over you, don't you, Daniel? Yeah. I bet you they whisper your name when you go outside at night. Daniel. They're coming for you, Daniel. Coming for you,
Daniel. Jeez, that's extensive. And so you walk in there, they're asking you some questions for 4 hours. Do they ever get accusatory?
No, not at all. I was completely cooperative with them, and I said, like, yeah, we're gonna come and get your phone in a few days. Do you want to sign a waiver? I said, no, I don't even need to sign a waiver. I threw my.
Can someone make me a Michael Jackson? I can do it, but I'm gonna make a Michael Jackson kind of like almost like the tune. The drones are watching you. Is that what it is, Michael Jackson? Somebody's watching me. Is that the song? So yeah.
Phone. So
So when did they pick up your phone? Was it that day?
no, it wasn't that day. It was actually a few days after.
Okay. And how long did they have your phone for?
They had my phone for about a week, and they actually
Listen.
gave me a loaner phone to use while they had my phone. And then they brought my phone back, and they realized my little SIM card holder wasn't inside the phone. So they said, "Oh, we guess we're gonna have to go back and get that from the tech guys." So I used the phone for an extra few days while they retrieved my little SIM card holder.
Interesting. And
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
had
Listen to what he says there.
yeah. I don't know if that was all planned or not, Daniel.
You'll never know, though, will you, Daniel? You'll never know.
Well, I'm sure they were listening into the things you were saying on that phone they'd let you borrow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were free to listen, Daniel. Nothing was going on.
And so you get your phone back. What all? I mean, I'm understanding that they went through your text messages, your bank accounts, your locations.
Uh-huh.
What else were they able to access from your phone?
Oh, they got access to everything, Daniel.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably looked. I mean, they had it for over a week, so they could have just looked through everything.
I bet they did, but they're going back. Okay.
And did they have any questions referencing what they looked through with the phone after they gave it back?
No, they didn't. I didn't question them on it, and they didn't question me. They said, here's your phone back. Everything's good.
And how long was it between the time that they gave you your phone back and the time that you took the polygraph test?
Listen.
I may have taken the polygraph exam when they had my phone.
Oh, okay.
I don't quite remember that.
Daniel, put your bra on. Look at this. These are the drones. These are the red, white, and blue drones. Right here. And guys, I'm really saying this half-heartedly, but I want Daniel to think I'm serious, okay? So some of these things I say, you're probably like, Justin, you're fucking crazy, but I want him to think. Okay. Daniel, they have drones now that look like eagles and stuff. Yeah, and the camera lens is actually the eyeball, the pupil. They'll move. They look just like a regular bird now. So yeah, if you see any birds in the air, they're drones. They're drones now, Daniel. And trust me, Janie will tell you, your mommy will tell you, all the birds now are drones watching. Yes. Yes, the pigeon drones. That's why I go to Pigeon Forge and visit Dolly. Seriously, all the drones now. I mean, they're all drones now. I mean, they can have like little bees, little flies in the house that are drones now. They got, you have any flies or bugs or anything in your house that looks like they're drones. They're listening and they're watching. And I mean, yeah, you might be a little paranoid or whatever, Daniel, but you have nothing to hide, so nothing to worry about here, right? Just make sure they're not blinking red, white, and blue, right? I don't know about the birds. I've never seen the birds blink. Now, the drones that look like the drones, maybe those blink, right? But the birds, they just look like regular birds. Those drones, they don't. The only blinking they do is their eyeballs, not lights, right? I mean, look, I just want to show you this. Show you like this. See right here, Daniel. That's the camera to the drone. Yeah. They got a camera there, and of course they got one over here. And this is the microphone. It looks like their nose, but that's actually the microphone. It's actually the microphone. They're watching. They're watching. And listen, Janie will tell you. Yes, the deer with the GoPros, but it's the camera. Their eyes are watching. Mm-hmm. Got little lights in them, yeah. X-ray vision. Oh, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock, guys. I've been here. I cannot believe I've been here 3.5 hours. Forgot that the RCMP hatched Justin. Well, I didn't even get through hardly any of my presentation that I've been working all day on, but yep. She his ex-girlfriend, they wanted her to press charges. Yeah. Oh yeah, they can see heat. Absolutely. Thank you, Susanna. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow will I be here? Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll do a Jack and Lilly live tomorrow. I might and finish it up, but I want to do a live on probably Nancy Guthrie. I've got some stuff we can go over with that. Oh, thank you, Old Garden Gal. Thank you so much. And then, are you guys interested? Now, just be honest. Just please be honest. Because if you're not, you're not. It's not a big deal. Are you guys interested in what's her name? I can't think right now. Old girl that's in jail with the car wrecks. Hold on one second. Let me think of it. Mackenzie. I couldn't think of her name. Shrilla. Yeah. Not really. No. Okay. Yes, Mackenzie. She's awful. This is a documentary. Yes. No. Oh, was she doing it? God. You mean she's sleeping through it? She's sleeping through it. That's what she's doing. If she's doing it, that's the only thing she's doing is sleeping through it, nodding through it. Okay. All right. Well then, hold on. What? Wait a second. Did y'all see this? A mysterious loud boom shakes the East Coast. Did y'all see that on the news? Mysterious. Did it boom anywhere where you're at? God, at least I yawn. See, I yawn when I get sleepy. I yawn. That's what people do when they get sleepy, right? We yawn. NASA didn't warn when it was loud. What is it? Let me see. Hold on.
In the U.S., mysterious loud booms shaking multiple neighborhoods from New England to South Carolina. Let's bring in ABC's Olivia Rubin. And Olivia, what are authorities saying about this?
I gotta pause this every freaking 3 seconds because it's ABC. And you gotta put some stuff on here, some music, and this filter thingy.
This now.
Take a look at this home security video capturing the moment that powerful boom echoed across Cumberland, Rhode Island. The U.S. Geological Survey now saying this was a sonic boom, possibly caused by a suspected meteor that may have exploded high above the Massachusetts coast.
Oh my God, a meteor? It was so loud.
Comes just days after another mysterious boom.
Look at the cats. There went pussycats everywhere.
Boom shook parts of South Carolina. Officials said that sound was also consistent with a sonic boom, not an earthquake.
Yeah, so many.
Oh yeah, that had to be. That had to be. If it went from Maine to South Carolina, which I don't think I heard anything, but I don't know. I had my headphones on mowing grass earlier, so how would I? Sorry. All right, guys. It's already on in your ear. What time is my live tomorrow? It'll be after 5 p.m. Eastern. I love space. I listen to space stuff just about every night while I'm going to bed. It'll be like space for sleep. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Get some rest. Really appreciate you. Special thanks to mods, members, everyone in chat. Really, really do appreciate you. Take good care of yourselves. Good night, everyone, and God bless.